The original concept would just be so funny to have just this Herculean thing as she opened it up next time unknowingly. And the second one I tried to do, this is where I really can't steal your bit. The next one I was like, all right, we're going to character mode on this one. And I started trying to draw arms and just coming up with a concept. And I was already like, no, this is why my dude's the greatest.
Dude, I'm not opposed to anyone drawing dicks on their own,
On their own volition.
I think everyone should go,
Yeah. If you haven't drawn at least one dick in your life, are you even living?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. When it comes up in conversation, one of my favorite things is going back through the camera roll and like show, like, wait, no, I'm really serious. Watch this. He did this one here. He did this one here. Just,
like
I'm
when
proud of you. You're like my kid.
When you look at your on, we're all iPhone users here. So when you see that thing where it has the whole country and little spots you taking pictures, if it was just like a dick that he drew everywhere in the country, just honest, that would be a pretty hard flex, to be honest with you.
That would be worth having a second phone and just taking just doing dick drawings on that one phone.
Oh, I need an iPad.
Yeah, iPad. Didn't you get one?
Nah, not yet. I just haven't. I don't know.
You gotta take these dicks to the next level, dude.
I know, right? Nah, I haven't. I was thinking about it, but then I was like, I just haven't done it yet.
Can we go into Southern
Pen to
Junction?
paper. Old school ways, huh?
Can we go into Southern Junction and buy steaks and go to see
buy
metal
one, get one
bands?
free.
He's a hipster when it comes to drawing dicks. He likes to do it with pen and paper.
Yeah.
And a notebook that he keeps in his
quill.
back pocket.
Yeah, as I say, I can't wait till he upgrades to a quill.
Yeah, I do a
Life's
quill
so fucking easy for him. He just decides to go back a couple
leather-bound
years.
notebooks.
Yeah.
Shit.
His journal is just like different dicks of how he feels every day. He just encapsulates it in the imagery of a penis. So
You could do a 360 little desk calendar, 365, and just a different dick every day. You could go through the seasons.
We do that.
Little cold ones where they're shivering. It's snowing.
he's
on
super
them.
short, just all balls.
What is that? Inktober, I think people do in October. Like every day in the month of October, they do a drawing or something based off of, like, I think there's like a word or something, and you got to incorporate that into your drawing or something like that. I forget.
That's a good way to get good at drawing anything.
Yeah. Which
They
is
have
why they do it, yeah.
Yeah, they have those challenges too for like photography where like the 365 where you have to take a picture every day and post it online or some shit. And I mean, if you think about it, like that repetition of doing something, if you're drawing something every day or not, or even like everything I do, if I could do one of everything I do once a day, I'd be so much better in 30 days,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's good to have you guys back here, man. It's been I feel like we haven't done this since after Sturgis. Feels like it's been a good long run.
Hit me with that lemon and that tahini. Sorry, I just saw that.
You saw it over there. Are you supposed to keep that lemon
Do a
refrigerated?
line. Do a line.
I don't know. We'll
In
find
memory
out.
of Todd, do a line of that tahini.
Shit.
Just joking. Todd's still with us. Last I checked.
So I was trying to put together reels last week. I was going to do a reel every day, and I just lost. I put one out, did real well, and then the next day I tried hard and
Was that the
edited.
one in Monument Valley?
The Monument Valley one I threw together like I was taking a shit, right? And then the next day I did one where I took some of the footage from our big trip, the day we were raining through Idaho, put it together, threw a couple transitions in it, threw a fucking title on the screen just to make it kind of flow a little bit. And that motherfucker didn't do anything. I don't even think it's got over 10,000 views yet. The other one's like at 40-something or some shit like that. So I just lost interest. I'm like, okay, so when I try, it's basically go fuck myself. You know what I'm saying? And then I was looking back through all the campout footage, and I was kind of tripping out because I was trying to put a reel together from the campout again, and looking back at all the people snorting, Todd snorting the fucking cayenne pepper, wherever it was.
God damn.
I thought I had footage of the buttholes or the balls dropping, and I didn't, and I'm kind of bummed about that. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I was kind of reliving it on the computer while I was like looking back through all the footage and shit. It was I'm excited for next year, so it's gonna be wild.
Well, that's one of my favorite things about taking pictures and stuff on your phone is sometimes I'll take something and it's not post-worthy quality in my opinion, but I'll still keep them just because I'll go back and watch them, and it'll take me to that place. It'll help re-jog that memory of being there in the actual spot. And anyways, That's it. Kind of ran out of gas on that one. Sorry.
Sick story, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I'll email you the rest.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
I always try to say that phrase you always say. I always don't even know what the fuck it is.
Oh, I've been pulling.
Email me the rest of this
I've been pulling
story.
it a lot lately.
God damn.
Well, so I don't know if we talked about like I don't remember what the last Quaint Zone we went over, but I think we have a lot to talk about on this one. First off, you rode to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
How was Milwaukee? Like, how was the whole thing? I think you had came back with a lot of stories. I don't know what we should talk about or not talk about, but I'll let you be the judge of it.
I don't think there's anything crazy or anything. I mean, it was like just got wild like it normally does, you know.
You email me the rest.
No. I left. I know Cody and Jetty left on Wednesday to go up there, and I couldn't make that, so I left Thursday after work to Little Rock and stayed with Scott, formerly Steve from Torque Magazine.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Didn't he run into some warrant issues and got detained for a while somewhere along the way?
I wish it was that cool. I actually got up at 5:30.
Just like with you, Scott.
We actually got up at 5:30 in the morning, and
Scott rode up there with you?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I stayed
I know
at
he
his-
rode out of state.
Yeah, him and I and another guy, Carlos.
Is that a guess?
Was he a baby?
No, because someone else fucked his name up the whole weekend, and I was trying to remember. I hope I'm not saying the one, the name that everyone fucked up with.
Oh, like Scott?
Yeah, basically.
Or Steve?
Steve from Torque Magazine. That's what they call him. Formerly Steve from Torque Magazine. Oh fuck, my whole thing
You
fucked up.
need notes, dude.
I know, right? No, so I stayed with Scott that night, and then we met up with homeboy there at the gas station the next morning, and then we all rolled up to St. Louis, had breakfast there.
I'm sure whoever this guy is, that he just referred to as homeboy, I'm sure he's kind of like, I guess I'll go fuck myself.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Well, fuck, I haven't, like...
Remember a name, you fuck. Come on.
Good luck, right? Well, I didn't even put that in the story until just now. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, we had a whole little squad go up
There was an extra guy I forgot about.
Yeah. No, because he was fun as
He
fuck
bought me
that
dinner
weekend.
one night.
That guy's just that white cat, the stuffed cat on the stool. Like, sorry.
Oh, yeah, it was Carlos, because fucking, man, someone was there that kept fucking his name up and thought he's like, man, I thought you were Pedro all weekend. That's what it was, because they kept calling him Pedro. And he's like, man, my name is fucking Carlos. He's like, oh, shit, my bad, dude. I've been calling you Pedro all weekend. That's what it was. I was making sure I didn't get it. I knew it was Carlos, but anyways, we rode up, stopped at St. Louis for breakfast, met up with some of the Missouri club-style guys. There was like 2 of those guys that rode up with us, the younger cats. And then just hammered the 700 miles from St. Louis up till we got there about 6:30 that night.
700 from
St. Louis to Milwaukee.
350.
Yeah,
It's
you're
seven-
right.
it's
You're right.
700
No, it was
from-
700 from St. Louis home. That's what it was. That's where I'm getting confused. Yeah. So we hammered. It was 700 from Little Rock.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's like 350 from Dallas to Little
Yeah,
Rock, 350 to St. Louis, 350 to Chicago
Yeah.
each time. Done it
Yeah.
enough times where I have it all mapped out in my head now.
Yeah,
Then-
so we hammered the rest of that 350, just all the way up there. Got there about 6:30, and then pretty much dropped our shit at the hotel and got over the shuttle bus over at fucking Casa de. I guess Jetty was there, Roach, Jeremy.
Yeah.
You know, the whole squad.
Cody.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone was staying over at that hotel.
I did
And,
have some FOMO on that one. It did, especially knowing that that the homie's leaving from up there, and I don't know how much more Milwaukee stuff we'll be doing going forward. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I wish I would have made that last one.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, we just jumped up on the, got a couple of shuttles, and headed over to downtown Milwaukee. Do all the after party stuff at
They said
Elwood's
some
and
like
whatnot.
they were shooting down there or some shit, but it wasn't like biker people. It was just normal
So-
Milwaukeeites.
That was that night because we left, and we went to the Elwoods. We ended up at Elwoods eventually. After this, when we went to this first bar, it was the hideaway. I think it was a hideaway. It was like some like mat. Like,
You got there Friday, didn't you?
yeah,
So did y'all go to the thing at the museum at all?
that was. They might have.
Oh, that was probably earlier in the day. or
Yeah,
some shit.
when we got there, everything was kind of over. They were all at House of Harley at that
Like those
time.
hog bike nights always end about 7:30 at night.
Yeah.
It's like
I think everyone's just trying to get out and party. Like,
Yeah.
I think by that point, everyone's just trying to get out, get some food, party.
Did y'all go back? Did y'all go back to that Fast 80s bar?
No, we didn't. I don't know if they're doing anything or not, but no, it was just pretty much Elwood's was the main place, and then there's a few other bars that we all kind of like. This Hideaway bar was like a old speakeasy type bar. You go into the alleyway, and then you say the code and all that stuff. It's kind of a gimmicky thing.
What
but
was the code?
there wasn't one. They just make you say dumb shit and on the camera, and then everyone inside the bar watches you on the camera say this dumb shit or do dances or whatever the fuck.
That's
karate moves. I think was the big one.
Well, you have to do like a hi-ya and
Yeah,
like
basically.
a chop or something.
Yeah. Which is what they were making everyone.
I like that vibe. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, and there was like this,
Everybody gets made fun of to get in.
essentially.
All
Or
right.
you can just walk in the
Okay, I
front,
can
on
kinda
the,
fuck
or you
with
can walk
that.
on the main street and just walk down like a normal fucking respectable human.
Yeah.
But no one told anyone about that. They made everyone come in the fucking
Speakeasy door.
speakeasy door.
All right, now stick your thumb up your ass. All right, now you got to lick it off. Come on, suck it. You're not coming in.
Yeah. Everyone's in here. No, they had a.
You walk in, there's like 5 people in there. Like,
They're
oh,
like, oh,
Sick
I knew
trick,
you
dude.
did it.
Don't worry, we did it too. There was a bar in the back that was small. This dude was doing magic. Like,
oh yeah, that's a
sleight
funny
of
ass
hand
story.
magic stuff.
Was this the
Dude,
one
it was
Cody
good,
got
dude.
freaked out?
Oh, dude,
Or-
everyone was acting like.
You got
I'm not gonna say who, but
you got to say it how you told me how Cody was acting.
they were all acting that way.
Yeah.
It was like,
So everybody's seen the black kid that sees the magic
yeah.
trick.
Like every black kid on Times Square is like, oh shit, oh fuck, like oh my god, and they were like legitimately fucking flabbergasted
Like
by these
amazed.
fucking tricks, and the guy was fucking good, dude. But I mean, they were just like, do it again. Like Roach was excited too. He's like, do you see this shit? Like. He's like, we're gonna keep making them. Like every time a new guy would come, he's like, no, do this trick. He's like, bro, stop! I can't be doing the same trick over time. He's like, no, you have to do it. And he's like, every time, oh, how did he fucking do that? Every time that they fucking did the same trick over and over.
He got home from work that night. His wife or girlfriend said, "Oh, honey, how was your night?" He goes, "It's good. Made some money. Had a bunch of retards from Texas that, that fell for everything."
No, but he was really fucking good. I will say that. Like the way he had done like one trick where like, I think it was on Jetty's dad first. He was wearing a watch and he had 3 coins in his hands. He goes, you know, blah blah blah. How many coins are there? There should be 3. And then he came back and was like, did his fucking abracadabra shit, and then came back and there was two coins.
Jace, tell him.
No, you know what?
Tell him to email me the rest of this trick.
Yeah, it's like
You fucking ass, bitch. No, it was 3 coins, and he opened his hand again. He was like, there was still 3 coins in there, and he was like, well, what the fuck? He was like, well, did you watch where that went? The 4th one went? He was like, 4th one. He's like, did you watch where it went? And then it was fucking tucked up under his watch band, under his fucking wrist, like. He didn't even like touch his hand. I don't know when he touched his hand to put it under there.
probably
but,
put it in there
dude,
like when they walked in the door.
oh, dude, no, they did it like 3 times though, like to new people, and he never left the bar. Like I don't know, it was fucking wild, dude.
And it blew Jetty's dad's mind.
I mean, everyone got their mind blown, dude. We were fucking retarded, but he was like, "Oh shit, man," you know. Oh, Jetty Senior talks, but no, it was cool. That was a cool bar though. We stayed there for a while. And then ended up at Elwood's afterwards. And this is where we left Elwood's.
I'm actually jealous that you got to travel with Jetty. I think he's done what he did. The
Well,
first pole ride with us?
I didn't get to ride with them. I missed
At all?
Well, no, because they got up.
But you saw him up there. You got to hang out with him.
Oh yeah.
I see him at stuff like that. I see him locally, obviously, but
Yeah.
We're talking about Jetty's dad. If you don't, everybody knows Jetty. His dad is actually 10 times cooler than actual Jetty, and just a sweetheart of a dude. And that's awesome. You guys got to hang out.
Yeah. And he hung out late too on a Friday night, anyways. And we left Elwood's to go to another bar, and then the bar was around the corner, and like a group left and got there before we did. They were already set up doing their thing there. And then we like finish up our drinks, tabbing out, and by the time we come out, there's fucking 50 cop cars just blowing down the fucking, like, I'm just running down this fucking main street, and we're like, what the fuck? So apparently some guy, if I'm getting my story right, we heard about it the next day, some guy shot his girlfriend and was on the run from the cops, like on a high-speed chase.
Good for him.
And got fucking lit the fuck up on that mains drag. Just fucking, they riddled that motherfucker's cars with bullets, dude, and like
straight Bonnie and Clyde
slumped out, bleeding everywhere. Just like, I was like, God damn, dude. Like, they fucking smoked this dude, and they got stuck in the bar because it happened right in front of the bar they were in. They had to go out the back way, I think, after a certain amount of time. We couldn't even get into it, so we kind of got split up that night. But then me and Cody and Ben, Gerton,
Squirtin' Gerton.
we finished the night out at this other like ghetto ass bar because we were just not ready to go to bed yet. We were just like, fuck it, we'll keep going. We ended up at this bar, and that's where Cody was fucking passed out on the bush the next that night. Like
he was legit
he didn't passed out. We were just waiting on our Ubers, and he was like, "Fuck this," and just like looked forward and saw basically like nature made a bed for him, and he just fucking slumped his ass down and just fucking started taking a nap.
My man.
He lost his sunglasses in that bush. So if anyone's want to go, I don't remember the name of that place, but
Yeah.
you know, it's over there in Milwaukee in some bush.
So how was the party at House of Harley, the home or the what do they call it, the
Industry party?
industry party for the second round they did that.
So I'm trying to think if that was Friday night and that we had missed that because everyone was there, I think, at House of Harley that day. And by the time we had got there, they were all coming back to the hotels. So that might have been that night. And then the next night was the V-Twin show at House of Harley, as well as the drags were happening, or the BRL was happening that same day. So some guys went to the BRL. I ended up going. The majority of us just stayed at House of Harley all day, just in the tents, just drinking because I think we got there I got there at like noon, 12:30, something like that, and then by the time, no, actually it's probably like 1 or 1:30 because I think the bag races started at 2, and I wasn't gonna make it over there. And I wanted to go over there, but then I was like, man, by the time I get over there, it's like I don't know, it just didn't pan out.
Did anybody pull their balls out at House of Harley?
No, not this year. We unfortunately, I mean, you could have. If
Oh,
you
I didn't.
showed
I
up.
couldn't make it, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad nobody tried to copycat.
Steal your stuff.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
glad nobody tried to draw dicks on their aunt's notepad at home.
Oh, homeboy showed back up.
Oh, with the
They got
tattoo.
the big.
Yeah.
They got the dick
That
tattoo.
was my second question. Did anybody get a dick tattoo?
Nobody added I think it was hometown House of Harley. Yeah, hometown rally 2022 in one of the ball sacks. One of the balls on his fucking dick tattoo. I was like, hell yeah, dude. He's like,
That's kind of funny to feel.
Didn't you do that tattoo?
I drew the tattoo.
Oh, you drew
and then
it.
someone else, a couple other people tattooed it.
Oh, that was the camp out. You drew the tattoos. We were like, well, you should let him tattoo it.
Yeah. Oh,
At the camp out this year, we did
Yeah.
the
You probably would have been in better shape than the tattooer. But have you ever done a tattoo? Have you ever tattooed somebody?
no, I haven't actually. I've
You
never
have,
done it.
though, right?
Oh yeah. I feel like you could definitely, like, if you had like some sick dick flash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
You-
do like a flash sheet
all
of it.
you. Hey, all I got is dick drawings here. That's all we offer. We got
If we
all.
do that again, I think that's the only way to go about it because I drew that shit on the fly, the last
Yeah.
one, and it was like executed poorly, but he still got it.
Yeah.
It was worth it on that
Is
end.
what it is. Yeah, it seemed like that trip or that just going up there. I really wanted to go. That was the initial plan, was to make it up there and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely had FOMO on that for sure.
I probably would have missed out too if Scott said wouldn't have been going Friday
Yeah.
morning, but that it just worked out perfectly with how I could make it happen. So
I think I would have wanted more out of that trip, though. I would have probably wanted to ride the UP or do something else than just a straight rip up there and back. So I'm kind of glad I didn't go because I probably would have pulled 3 more days is okay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't know, but it did look fun. Yeah, and then the exact next weekend was Rennie's camp out, Lone Star camp out.
yeah,
And you didn't make that one, right?
Nope.
And then I made that one with the wife. You made it.
Yeah.
It was cool.
it was a good time. Yeah, it was.
Trying to find an adjective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A euphemism.
I think. Well, when we got there, we went hard as fuck Friday night.
Yeah.
And then, dude, Saturday night, everyone was just so hungover and like hung out at the lake all day in the sun.
Yeah.
Like everyone passed out by like 9 or 10.
It looked
Like,
fun as fuck, especially all
Yeah.
the stuff Friday. Like,
Yeah.
I was genuinely missing out.
Yeah, there was
That-
a lot. It was a
but I
good
was also
turnout. It was
very
a good
happy
turnout.
for you guys and everybody that was there because I could tell everybody that's there is having a fucking badass time. So
Yeah.
I
No,
salute you.
that Friday night, man, like, first off, the ride down there, we got off the highway and just kind of rode a part of Texas I never ever fucking rode. We essentially rode parallel with 35, but like in the country, more or less. Mm-hmm. Going through like small towns and shit. It's fucking beautiful, dude. Like, it's really nice. Like, I was like tripping. I was like, damn, this shit's like 100 miles from the house. And it's like empty roads, but like you're rolling through people's like fields, but it's all like rolling hills and the sun was going down. It was like, it was epic. You know what I mean?
So some of that I think is my like some of the family land that I've flew to. We would take 35 and I forget where you break off.
We broke off right in Waco. We cut off just south of Waco, or right at the in Waco still, and it's kind of like 77, like the original 77 that goes north and south, and then you start kind of zigzagging from there. And hell, the campground where it was at was badass. Like, I thought it was cool as shit. The property was badass. Now the property, it lacked quality bathrooms and showers. There was mosquitoes out the ass, which nobody's fault was that. It's just Texas had a lot of rain the last month or so. But the one thing that was a drawback is we were all hoping for steaks and the bar.
Yeah.
And that being closed a lot of us didn't even eat or anything on the way down there. And then we get there, that was closed. So, like, next thing you know, we're settling for Sonic at a town 20 miles away. So that part sucked.
Yeah.
But the most part, just I don't think I went to bed till like 4 something in the morning that night.
Oh yeah, because I tapped out around 4,
Yeah.
and y'all are still up going at it.
Yeah, I was holding court. You know how I've been doing.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, baby.
I wish. But no, it was dude. There was it the Arkansas dudes that brought the fucking darts and they were playing darts with cans all over the place? Like, just motherfuckers will make a game out of anything.
It was
You know
some
what I'm saying?
redneck shit, dude. You stand in a
Was
circle.
Evan and some of his
Yeah,
buddies?
yeah.
Dude, they're so fun.
I don't know
Yeah.
if Evan was there. I didn't. Was
Evan went?
Yeah,
Evan
Evan
was
was
there?
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he? No, he
Yeah,
had
he
a.
did.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was there.
I
He
didn't
had
see
a
him.
delay or something. He was. I know it's.
I didn't see him Friday night.
I think Friday night he was trying to get there, and he ended up doing something on a truck, or there was something where he was like, I swear that was where he said I wanted to be here, but instead I'm doing this, and maybe he showed up Saturday.
No, he was there Friday night because he was the one that was showing me.
He'll text
One of the
me. My
guys showed
phone's
me the fucking
downstairs.
the beer darts. That's what it's called, beer darts.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
tried to play for a minute.
And,
I was like, I can't do this.
What's
shit.
his name from Louisiana?
Alex Kirby?
Yeah, Alex Kirby.
Yeah.
He came out and he was playing too, and so it was like their squad that was playing the beer darts, and dude, that shit was fun. Like, it was like you set the beer in front of you, and it's closed, and then you throw darts at each other's beers, like basically right at your feet. I mean, you can stand wherever you want, but like if they hit your where they put their pinhole in your beer can, you have to drink it down to that line, or if they hit the top of it, you got to drink the whole thing. It's just like, but it's just a reason to drink beer, but.
Sounds like it would be wasteful. Like, do you waste a lot of beer?
No, it doesn't, because it's like such a slow leak whenever it does start spitting out or whatever, you know?
It was dumb.
It was fun. Nah, it was
I saw
fun
the
as fuck.
commotion. I walked over there. I was like, what are they doing over here? And I was like, I threw 3 of them. I was like, this is stupid. Why don't we just sit here and
Guys, we
talk?
can just drink at a table, right?
Yeah.
You over zero
Nah.
a deck of cards?
We ran through all the beer they had like real quick.
Oh,
that
It's like
night.
eating crawfish. We could do this same thing with a lot less effort. Let's just
Yeah.
come on.
Nah,
Eat
I had a good
hamburger.
time. And with the right amount of shit talking and homies doing it, you would have a good time.
All right.
And then you could, gotta watch for getting stabbed in the feet. And shit, but like,
There was
That makes,
there was
you know-
a danger element to it.
yeah, there's no danger element. Is that you really having a good fucking time?
Oh, dude, rednecks don't fuck with it if it doesn't have a danger element to it. They
Yeah.
just don't.
I mean, it's just, it also like, yeah, you can stand around and talk, but then everyone gets in their fucking
So we were hoping,
circles of people talking, so may as well just.
me and the wife were hoping that they would get this bonfire going because that would have kind of helped repel a little bit of the mosquitoes. You know what I'm saying, with the smoke and everything.
Yeah.
Everybody just gave up on that shit because nobody had firewood. They were trying to pull shit out of the creek. It's all wet. Like, it was just, that part sucked too.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah.
but initially, like, that they have a big, like, what would you call it, like a
It's a big pavilion.
pavilion type thing, and like when you're up there where the camping is and you're walking down to it, like, it's just like a fucking high school reunion in there, to be honest with you. So many people. And
Yeah, that's one of the things I saw that looked fun as fuck. You saw some of the bikes tucked away,
Yeah.
and you could see people hanging out and different conversations. And
yeah, but it was fun, man. Like, a lot of Texas showed up to that, and it's always hard, especially now going forward. Like, because our camp out, we don't really get to connect with everybody that shows up like we used to. You know what I mean? So you'll be talking to someone like, hey, man, you should come to our camp out next year, man. You'll enjoy it. Oh, I was there this year and the last 3 years. I'm like, fuck, my bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to do something. What's the Dave Chappelle thing where he's like, black ass, he pulls his pants down like,
oh, black ass. Why didn't you say something? Somewhat, but I feel like, I don't know. We meet people like Todd, dudes like Todd, where it doesn't take much. We're at one point we're selling T-shirts. We're doing something. You know my face. I don't know all your faces. Come up and tell me who you are, and I'll give you a hug and we'll have a beer. But you know my face. Find me. It's you know what I mean. It's not that hard, especially at the camp out.
Yeah.
But I got to hang out with. I guess he goes by Thicky Ricardo.
Oh yeah, Eric.
Dude's fucking cool,
dude,
man.
he's so fun.
Yeah, he's cool as shit. Like I wish to see him more at other things that we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
He's one of the dudes when we talk about the Austin scene and how it's kind of like they've got something. You hear that they've got something, but just nothing unites it. He's always one of those guys that I think of that he's so fun that if somebody could do something, you get him involved in it. He could probably he seems like he's got that personality where he could bring people into it. And
leadership
in addition to having a good time and just like I said, it'd be fun to hang around him.
Yeah.
But
he had to leave early from the event, but like I said, I got to. It was him and Chooch, the painter.
I love that guy. Yeah,
yeah.
Well, Eric was at the what do we go to?
That was a V-Twin show at
was that Clean or Round Rock or something?
It was north of Austin. It must have been
It was Round Rock,
or Centerville, or not Centerville, but
it was Round Rock. That's where that Central Harley is.
Eric was
Central
there.
Harley is what I'm thinking of.
His chick showed up. I mean, we chopped it with those guys most of the day, and his buddies.
No, they have a scene down there, man. They really do. It's just like I don't know if they found the area to call like this is where we're going to convene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
right.
Well, it's the same issues we've always talked about with Austin being the traffic being so bad,
it's miserable.
and it's so spread out.
And then if you're like if you're West Austin, or if like you're west like towards like Lake Travis, then you have that fucking lake that you have to go around to go do anything. So literally the bike nights across the lake, but it's a fucking hour-and-a-half ride to get around it. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but
you know what I mean?
At some point, if you're in Austin, would one of the byproducts of Austin being so Californicized, whatever you want to say it lately?
Californicationized.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, but you would think.
I'm trying to think how that would go.
Right, exactly. But you would think the lane splitting would be better. I know that I feel like we have our own fair share of Californians that have moved in, but nobody gets them more than Austin. I even notice a difference on the roads now where some people you just see as you're like late. I was California lane splitting today from Lover's Lane and 75. The entire.
That's nothing to do with California. That's just more Jaden.
Well, yeah,
saying,
but
stoplights don't apply to me.
Yeah, stop lines are stop signs. Just glorified.
Californicated.
Californicated.
Yeah, Alex Vogel with the win on that one. That sounds
there you
better.
go.
But if I'm noticing it going through downtown and almost south of downtown on 35 coming, they're still looking for me in DeSoto, baby. I was like I was on the 405. But if I'm noticing it, people getting over. Austin has to have it so much better, and you have to. And I feel like the roads probably are wider, especially if you're out like the Mopac area.
Yeah,
dude, you can split on that. You have to be able to get the fuck around.
I think it's like
quicker on
their highway system in general is not very convenient to like the way the city's grown. Like Dallas-Fort Worth has loops. We have rings that go around the city that are further and further out. That way, depending on what you want to catch, and then you got circles, and then you got. Like across.
They go straight,
Yeah, you got it going across, and you got angles coming in and out of it. So there's like so many options for you to get around Dallas-Fort Worth, and
they zoned all that stuff while they were building the city. Whereas Austin was just kind of like, it's a college town, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Nah, they should have fucking. Now they got to go through people's fucking properties now and push people out and all that shit.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Waco and Killeen and all that. Temple, they don't have the structure. They're kind of tucked in hills and stuff, and we're just flat.
If people keep moving to Texas, those are the next hot spots. Because I'm telling you, what we were talking about earlier, we got sidetracked. But like where my grandma, I spent a lot of my childhood, the Grosbeck area.
Yeah.
He said there's this whole pocket between 35 and 45 that's just, it's not necessarily massive hills, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not like just straight plains and anything like that.
It really sucks ass over there.
The
You wouldn't
Quanah
even
Parker
think about
area.
moving there.
No,
you should just
fuck
stay
you.
where the fuck you're
Yeah,
from.
exactly. Say the fuck
Yeah,
out.
you're already
because
making it sound good. No,
that's
there's
gonna be
nothing
like
down there.
Houston.
It's a barren wasteland. Stay in California and New York and all these other.
You're about halfway between
God-awful
Dallas
places.
and Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need, it's
Well, like I said, Rennie's camp out ended up being a good time.
Yeah.
Due to certain conversations that took place the Friday night, my wife wasn't too happy with me, and so we had to depart from the camp out the next day at night. Not all her fault, but it was kind of like, I asked her to ride down with me. Usually when she comes camping, she drives and we bring our nice tent like how you guys did, and so it's much more comfortable for her. But we took the bike and we put a tent in it, and she just she was irritable from that. Plus, listening to us reminisce on high school sweethearts and shit all night, and she was like, I don't fucking want to hear that, which I get, I guess. But that's why you don't drink and talk next to the tents. Do it away somewhere. But so we ended up dipping out early, but you said that we didn't leave till 6 o'clock at night, and you said that 3 hours later everybody's dead.
And we sat in that same spot right next to the trucks.
Yeah.
Just chilling. It was like super low key on Saturday night just because it was everyone was just so burnt out and fucking hungover.
well. As far as wanting to put a positive spin before we move on from the Lone Star camp out,
Yeah.
I didn't get to make it this year, just live stuff, but I'm excited about the way he's changing it up. If you didn't listen to that podcast, they won't have it at that same venue again. Going forward, he's going to pick a different spot each year, and it'll be hit or miss. And some of the best times are first years at a spot where it's, you know what I mean?
Everybody's figuring it out. Yeah.
And then you move on to the next one. And I mean, obviously it's Rennie's camp out, so maybe he reserves a ride if he finds that diamond in the rough to keep it there permanently. But what he talked about the last time we visited, I'm excited about the moving it around aspect, and definitely what he's got going on in the future of it. So
Yeah.
that's one of my big things next year, is to make sure my shit is together enough that I can actually make it wherever the fuck he has it.
Well, what he's doing, we've been talking about on the podcast for so long about Austin not having a scene, and he's trying. And so if all we can do is support him, then that's what we should be doing. If he's trying to create something down there, and whether it's finding guys like, Eric and all, and Chooch, which is not going to be here too much longer from what I understand. He's going to move to Phoenix. But, everybody, like bringing all those guys together. I mean, the San Antonio guys and everybody up and down that 35 corridor, they've all been supportive of what we've done with the campouts and hood rides and things like that over the years. So anything they do, I feel like we owe them that. So 100%.
I'm waiting. It's the same kind of energy we've had with Houston, the relationship I feel like we've had the last several years, where if you build it, they will come. If you throw it, we will come. We'll get some sort of a contingent, and we'll roll down there and however we can. And same thing with Austin. The 30, I love that term, that 35 corridor. Do it. You throw your event, you pick it, and I'll get there. I'll figure one
Just
way or the
don't
other.
fucking throw it next to other people's events.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's tough to do, though. Nowadays, I feel like everyone's...
Yeah.
every
How about the
weekend-
winter when nobody's doing anything?
Yeah.
And it's still warm enough to do shit.
Yeah.
March is a great time to do shit in Texas.
Yeah, I agree.
Fuck, man. Even then, as far as you can go into Austin, you catch it one of those nice winter weekends where 40s, sunny and high 40s, maybe low 50s, where, oh, shit, I could barbecue today. Right down to Austin. Like, I'm waiting for them. Like, those are the 200 miles for tacos kind of days. Like I said, yeah, it's cold, but it doesn't have to be a polar ride. You don't have to ride through shit. But one of those days where it's sunny and it's nice and just layers.
2.5 hours down to Austin from
Yeah,
Dallas.
just layers. And, you fucking, you're all going through the suck together. Those are some of the
Grab
best
a
things.
hotel,
Yeah.
do the bar scene at night, get some good food.
Grab an Airbnb in Austin. You know what I mean? If you get 3 guys, that's almost worth an Airbnb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you had, I don't have Airbnb money.
Oh, Kyle's picking mine up. That's the only reason I said that.
Shit.
Well, no, it was a good time, man. I did have fun.
Excuse me.
And looking forward to whatever he does decide to do with that camp out next year.
You okay?
McDonald's.
You okay, Aussie?
Picking back up on me.
This dude shows up at McDonald's like, when did you say you worked out yesterday or today or some shit?
I worked out Friday.
Oh, there you go. How's that going?
Oh, dude, I'm not saying I'm by any means some kind of a healthy example of anything. I eat like dog shit, but
I play
still works out, so he's gonna get strong once this shit goes down. If it ever does, maybe it doesn't.
I've been on one the last like 2 weeks, pretty hardcore. This is honestly like I had like 2 Bloody Marys yesterday for brunch, and then like 2 beers at night. Like I've barely been drinking straight up.
I went hard yesterday. It was October.
And so this blue label that Mr. Big Trouble left in the studio, I'm giving it a taste right now. But like I've been fucking walking. Let's be real. I try to run and then my back hurts, so I stop. I've been working out, fucking eating pretty decently. I've had a couple fucked up little spots here and there, but pretty decently. And working out every fucking morning on some part of the body. Yeah.
Working out on this part of the body.
Well, I've been trying to fill in. I got this one's a little
jerking off left-handed.
Trying to go.
Yeah,
such little
ambidextrous over there.
Yeah. Well, it's jerking off with your left hand's very tough. It's just you don't get the rhythm down. Like you You ever try to hit the punching bag machine left? You just kind of like just got to throw a club. Like if you try to aim, like your aim, you're just not there. Like this thumb is not for anything other than directions.
To what you said at the beginning, if you can do anything, 30 days in a row, how good I'm like, well, fucking in that regard, I should be the most master fucking hand job artist ever because I've definitely gone 30 days in a row multiple times over.
Have you ever? Has your old lady ever like grabbed your junk with her offhand and never noticed a difference? Have you ever noticed a difference? Like, oh, you just, you know what I mean?
Oh, there's times where, there's times where like they've gone in for the hand job and it's just like, no, hey, stop. Let's just, I got this, I got that part covered. If you just want to use your hand, I can do that. Don't worry about that. I need what I don't have, a mouth, a butthole. Like, let's come on. Hey, make be more valuable.
Fuck. Fair enough. But no, I've been trying. So it's yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel better about it, but like I've been able to manage like going to bike nights and not getting hammered. The day before the night before we went to Rennie's campout, I went to the Fort Worth bike night and got pulled over on the way home, fucking hammered, drunk. Not hammered, like I was still riding pretty good. Be real. Like I ride pretty good drunk. But definitely, if I would have had to do any kind of like stuff, I wouldn't have passed. And the cop, he gave me a ticket, let me make it, and so I'm like, okay, that's my pass. And now
leaving Rennie's campout?
No, leaving the DFW bike night. Oh, that's a long ride. That's like 40, almost 50 miles. This is the day before Rennie's campout, Thursday. And so went there, and every time I go there,
because I know there is some like where they have you have cops posted up. Was it right by there?
No.
You're on the right.
If it was there, I would have been fine. If I would have got pulled over right there in Fort Worth, that would have been great. I got pulled over like exiting my exit from my house, by one of the cops that patrols my area. So, and my bike's pretty known, or it's pretty recognizable. So now I feel like anytime I go to bike night, he's gonna be like, I remember I pulled that dude over drunk. Now he's coming back home at 1 a.m. on the bike.
You knew you were drunk?
Yeah, dude. There's no way.
Cops are different now, dude. If he knew you were drunk, you'd have gone to jail.
Nah, dude.
You fooled him, dude.
I started.
you got one over on him. There's nothing wrong with that.
Listening right now.
I'm not taking your advice on that. Like, that does not work.
I'm not saying do it again. I'm saying you got one over on him. I would say don't go, oh, he knew I was drunk. He gave me a pass. No, dude. You squeaked by.
I was rambling, dude. I was like stuttering. I was rambling, like trying to get.
Probably thought you were nervous.
I was nervous. I thought
you looked like a dork. He was like, this guy's fucking.
I had my modular on. I pulled it up. I'm like, hey, officer.
Yeah, that's what it is. As soon as you pulled the modular, he's like, oh, this fucking nerd. He's scared.
He's scared.
I thought in the moment, if I pull the thing up, that like I wouldn't, like I wasn't trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to try to be hiding any of that shit. And he's like, what were you? He's like, because I did the speed limit all the way fucking home, and then like right when I was about to exit, I just fucking like
had to let that 131 eat, baby.
I let it in. I leaned into a little bit, and then it was dark as fuck. This black SUV in the ditch. Didn't see it. Saw the lights come on, but I was going pretty fast, and so whenever I exited the highway, I just kind of continued on my like I was going, and then right when I was about to turn onto that street to like when you exit the highway and you're gonna go to my house, right for that car dealership, he got me right there. And there's two cops. One stood there and talked to me. And I just kind of pulled the whole like, yeah, I'm a business owner in Waxahachie and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I got a shop right down there and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, they gave me the ticket, let me make it. But there was no way they didn't smell alcohol in my breath. You know, as much as I was talking, he was asking me questions and I was just answering and things like that.
But like you said, this is a 45-minute ride from Fort Worth to Waxahachie.
Yeah.
Or 40-ish minutes. So you had time for your breath to not smell as bad.
For all that alcohol to soak in.
Shit.
Yeah.
That alcohol soaks in, you're more drunk later. Like, that's how when they say, like, if they don't, when they say, what's the deal? It's like, if you refuse the breathalyzer thing, if they go take your blood later it's like you're more drunk in your blood or some shit like that. I could probably Jamie that shit right now, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. What I'm saying is I don't give much cops like the cool guy pass anymore. They're like, oh, you know what? We know this guy's drunk. Hey, get on home, little buddy. I don't think they knew, man. I think you got by him. I think you talked your way out of it. You were probably pretty
I don't think
savvy.
any of this happened at all.
I think
I'm leaning more towards that.
you were enough on your toes.
Hey, let's not incriminate ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's just have
Fucking listeners.
a nice little podcast here.
Anyway, it definitely kind of it's reeled me back some with like just going out and drinking and stuff like that. Because like I said, there's always cops on that street to get to my house, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same cop because he was patrolling. He was patrolling the area, so I'm like I said, every time I leave bike night after 12 p.m. or whatever, which it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while we have those ragers, right? And the next thing you know, I'm coming home and he pulls me over. He's like, "Hey, man, you know, what are you doing?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't want to
I
take
say
that
you go
chance.
full Jade on him and just talk shit. That'll work every time.
Why'd you
No.
pull me over?
No, in that case,
Fuck you. That's
honestly, if I'm riding your bike in that situation, I go, man, I'll be honest with you, you got me. I did the speed limit the whole damn way here, and I said all of a sudden, I just let it eat. There's something about that exit, that turn.
I used that excuse once already with Cody.
I just leaned
A
into
couple
it a
years
little
ago, I was
bit, man. I was just, and I'm sorry you got me. And I've honestly told cops before that when they pulled me over for speeding, go, man, I got no excuse. You got me. I said it's a good little turn, good little twist. Sorry. And a lot of times they kind of respect the honesty almost. And, here you go. Fuck, I'm not hiding anything.
You probably remember this because it was one time Cody came to town, and we ended up linking up with Craig. And I think at one point we were at Buzz Brews in Deep Ellum, and it was 3 a.m. We were leaving Deep Ellum to go home. And me and Cody were fucking just letting it eat on 35 headed back to Waxahachie. And lo and behold, right when we crossed Bear Creek, there was fucking 2 cops just sitting there talking on the highway. Sure enough, they got on the highway. Cody was a little bit ahead of me, and
Did he keep going?
he kept going. And they pulled me over, and the whole time I'm like, I got my helmet. I'm trying to blow all the alcohol in my breath. And I said exactly what you just said. He's like, he goes, you're going pretty fast. I was like, man, honestly, man, the highways were open. Me and my friend were just out enjoying these empty roads. My apologies. And he straight up gave me a warning. We were doing like 90 miles an hour in a 70.
Throwing a yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just be respectful.
Once again, drunk as fuck. It was
Yeah.
3:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I get tickets going to get a pizza on a back road. Not drunk at all. Fucking
at you,
faggot
dude.
ass cops, dude.
I'd pull you over too, dude.
Dude, I was in my Toyota just driving. I wasn't in the speed limit was the thing, but it's a back road that's 60, and I was doing 80 with the flow of traffic. Everyone else is like, "Fuck that dumbass speed limit," anyways.
You always drove cars that don't match you.
Dude, hey,
Like,
it's a
it-
black Toyota. You know how many black Toyotas are on the road? Infinity.
I pull this guy in a little. I
It
pull this
works
guy.
great.
I'm a cop, and I pull this guy over in a little compact Toyota or a smart car, and I see him. This whole get up. The first thing I'm thinking is there's like some clown makeup and like a 13-year-old's pair of panties in the back. Like
I have been watching that new Dahmer.
You definitely look like a possible serial killer.
I've been watching that new Dahmer documentary on Netflix. It's pretty good. Give me some fucking ideas.
Man,
Maybe not with 13-year-olds, but
14s for sure.
I probably leaned into that a little too hard.
But yeah, so no, that happened. It kind of put me on like of course,
I'm gonna go take this.
hey, can you get some more ice out of the thing for me?
Yeah.
Just throw it in this.
Check out this fucking.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let me put it on you.
I just wish they didn't
Sit
put
down
some-
a little bit.
I wish they didn't ruin it with a political thing. Like, it was just anything else.
No, it's still funny.
It's such. I get it, dude. I hate him too. It's just
I don't.
at
Yeah,
some
no,
point,
but I
doesn't the
don't.
political thing turn into low hanging fruit?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No matter how much you're like, oh, fuck Joe Biden or let's go Brandon.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
it's a fucking.
Look, as much as you do it, you're still not changing anything. You're
Yeah.
no different than the people that are just dog cussing Trump, and you're no. I don't know.
It gets boring. Think about it. If you're having a conversation, all you're doing is confirming each other's biases or confirming each other's like hate towards the subject. You're not actually having any kind of breakthroughs of thought, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about like great conversations is when you're talking to someone, like they can give you a perspective that you haven't got, you haven't, gotten yourself from the thoughts, right? But when you're talking about like politics, like first off, who knows what the fuck's true and false, right? Like you've heard this and hit this. We all get the same information from the same sources. It's not like somebody knows somebody at the White House and they're just getting like some fucking like leaked Harley fucking pics or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
believe zero statistics these days. Like
Yeah.
when I hear statistics, I'm like, made up.
Yeah.
Fake news. Like I just no both sides of it, right and left.
Yeah.
I hear something, I'm just like, maybe, probably, but there's no way I'm sure. Like who the, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
how do I know? Like anybody can say something.
Yeah.
I can say,
I'm not going to fact check it
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, of all the sex I've had, I've made 90% of the women orgasm. You can't tell me I'm wrong. I'm telling you it's wrong. That's not accurate. Like it's just that's dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way things, the world we live in, I don't believe any statistics. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Maybe I know I'm very cynical. but
Conspiracy
I
theorist.
don't. Well, I'm not even that. I'm cynical. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Somewhere in the middle.
Conspiracy.
But, yeah. I'm not conspiracist.
But yeah, I don't know. I try to stay away from those conversations, and they never seem like they never. It just doesn't push the needle further in any kind of way of being smarter or being more enlightened in anything, because it's just regurgitated shit people heard through their break room, their fucking bar, their fucking group chat or some shit like that, and I just don't give a shit.
It makes you mad, dude. It puts you in a bad place. Like I know there's guys that
Yeah.
they hang their hat on kind of the angry conservative side or whatever, and it just I feel you, brother. I understand. Like I get it. The whole fucking
Yeah.
world's gone gay. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm the guy at my house. Like I'm the old guy walking around. I'm like, of course. Look at this fucking preview.
So
like,
whenever I heard about the IRS agent thing, I was like, I saw a headline somewhere, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till memes come out. That way I know it's real.
and dude, the memes follow with the
The red thing that's down there, it's like it's like in the hallway on the side.
Oh, okay. I was not freezer, dude. The whole freezer area just like
It's just a
block of ice.
solid
I was
piece
like-
of ice.
I was like looking around. I was like, maybe he's got a screwdriver or something. Just chipping it off the fucking freezer. I was like,
No, dude, we have ice maker here.
there'll be like 6 cubes in it. It's the smallest little slowest ice maker. Yeah, it just doesn't get anything. Like I said, you can't control it. No matter how much you want to dive into it and wrap yourself around and whatever, you still can't change it. You can bitch about it and talk shit and post stuff and divide and alienate and whatever all day. You're still not changing anything, dude.
Yeah.
You're what they want. You're what they want because you give a fuck.
You sound like a conspiracy theorist now.
No, you don't sound like a guy that just got into motorcycles. That, like I said, we've talked about it. You're out on the road, you don't care. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
when we're traveling, those same dudes, like guys that I absolutely love, but where their stories or a lot of the stuff like that. When I'm on the road, I skip those guys. Like I'm not even trying to look at your shit.
Yeah.
I'm looking for other like-minded stuff. And when I get in when I'm going through the daily grind, when you're working, and it's just that's when
That's fine.
those are when I actually pay attention. When I'm already fucking and I'm looking for something to get mad about, that's when I pay attention to there. And all of a sudden, like I'll see something, go, oh fuck, is that real? I pull up Google, go, oh motherfucker, and it's just this toxic fucking wormhole that I go down that like I said doesn't happen when I'm happy, when I'm traveling. So that's my whole thing.
Dude, I've been using your analogy because I've had just so many conversations talking about our month-long trip about every day felt like Saturday. I've been using that so much whenever I
month
talk
of Saturdays, baby.
But after the Lone Star camp out, I think we had for me it was Tennessee next,
Yeah.
and that was last weekend. Tennessee was So I had this bike I had to paint for House of Harley that in exchange for the 131. So yes, everybody, I did somewhat pay for it. It wasn't a given motor to me. It was a deal where I painted a bike, they traded the labor. It was a good thing, right? So I owed them a paint job. Got the bike painted. They just wanted to sell it, so I found a guy from New Jersey. Ended up being a rad dude. He ended up meeting me in Nashville to pick it up. But left here, loaded the bike, or loaded everything up, lined up a couple of podcasts like Boosted Brad and all the cats that we got out there in Nashville. I go to Justin's house, my machinist, and I leave here at 11. It's like 5 hours to get there, 5.5 hours. As soon as I get there, like we go to Chewy's, and I haven't ate shit, and he starts ordering Patron margaritas with an extra shot in it. And they don't have any beer on tap, and I just didn't feel like drinking.
Well, they had a rosé. Did they just
at Chewy's?
That's a low hanging fruit joke too.
We're gonna get to the rosé actually. So we get there, and me and Justin, like when we get together, we share a common interest because we have businesses within the same world, right? And so listening to him talk about things that is going on in his world, it's like something that's very. I thought you were falling asleep on my story, dude.
No, I'm listening.
He's actually watching the comments.
I was checking. See some shit. No, you go.
But,
I wasn't trying to stop anything.
He just pulled the fucking emergency brake.
Yeah. So, but like hanging out with Justin, and I want to see his new shop and everything, and just wanted to let you guys know the shop is dope. But it's like the great value version of what a shop would be. We're hanging out in his shop, and every fucking 5 minutes, the breaker goes off because he tried to pay somebody off Craigslist to do his electrical instead of actually getting a professional. So he's got all these like fancy lights that you see on Instagram and shit, and they just blow his fucking fuses every 5 minutes. And so I just wanted
his carbon though.
Yeah, that's. I just had to talk. No, his shop's badass, man. It's like I'm real proud of what he's got there. It's a dope little setup. You know what I mean? But we go to fucking Chewy's and we sit down and we're continuing talking about everything going on in our sides of the business, if you will. And man, we were there probably 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours tops. Finally ate. Another homie come up and kicked it for a little bit. And I'm drunk enough to where when they bring the bill out, like I'm like, I got this. It's a $300 fucking Chewy's bill, dude. I was tripping balls. I was like, fuck. As soon as I looked at it, I just said, fuck. I was like, I'm trying to be on a budget. I'm trying to stay at people's houses on this trip, and here I'm paying $300 for something I'm not even full on. I'm just drunk. You know what I'm saying? So I pay the bill because I grabbed it first. It's just the only honorable thing to do.
Hit that credit card company up the next day and
Yes,
say,
like,
fraud, I
do
was
that
not
shit.
at Chewy's. I had a turkey sandwich at home.
I just it's one of those deals where I want to like, man, we could just split this. You know what I'm saying?
I was kidding about that whole.
Dude, like, why do we have to pay each other's bills? Why don't we just split it? Just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, we're all struggling business owners. And so we get back to his house, and I'm fucked up, dude. I barely ate anything all day. And then he keeps, like, bottles of rosé on tap there, basically. So we get to talking about some more shit. Rachel comes out. She's hanging out with us and talking. It was probably like honestly, it was probably 11, dude. I'm fucked up, dude. Straight. Not like throwing up, but just the worst like wine hangover possible. You know what I mean? Because we drank 2 bottles of rosé and probably a piece at least eight fucking margaritas a piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be at Boosted Brad's at 11 a.m. the next day, and it's a 4-hour drive there. So, or 11 a.m. So I need to leave Justin's house by like 7:30 or whatever, right? And so I don't leave Justin's house till 9:30 the next day. I get to Boosted Brad's at like 1. We do the podcast. I'm feeling like shit the whole time. Great podcast still. He good catching up with him. Just fucking out of it. You know what I mean? Get to link up with the dude that's picking up the bike for me. He met us at Millhouse's house. Millhouse prepared a very, very nice chicken strip dinner for us at his house.
Okay, then, Millhouse.
Get Bent Moto and his lovely wife came out and hung out. We just sat in the living room talking and shooting the shit. I actually enjoyed that night a lot. It was my kind of night where you're. I didn't really drink because I was still feeling like shit from the night before, but just talking, just getting to know how Ben's doing, getting to know how Thundermax and Millhouse is doing, just shooting the shit back and forth. Like I love those kind of conversations where you can listen to someone tell about what's going on in their world, and you can either advice or just say, oh, no way, or, something like that. You know what I mean? And then the next morning we woke up and we had to go to Thunder Max and set up, and then we did 3 podcasts in a day, and it was like literally 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. like podcasts, hour, breath, podcasts, hour, breath, podcast. We played battle shits too. So we went to lunch, and I was like, dude, I got to shit so bad. He goes, me too. And I'm like, do y'all have like a separate bathroom? Because I don't want to shit in the same bath, because they have like 3 stall bathrooms. It's like, I don't want to shit in the same bathroom. And I'm like, what if I make a noise, or what if you fart a funny way and I got to laugh about it because we're the only 2 in here taking the shit? Like, I don't think that we're at that point yet in our relationship where we need to shit together. But
if I remember Harold and Kumar properly, battle shits, they're in stalls next to each other, right?
True. So he said on the back facing wall, there's a women's bathroom. So he went and shat in the women's bathroom. And he starts sending me pics. He's like, I take my shirt off whenever I take a shit. And I was like, do you? And he goes, yeah, it's just, you don't want to.
I get fully nude if I can. I really do.
I mean,
but also, there's something about when you said the women like joining things. You know, many times in an office situation where the men and women's bathroom is walked in like right next to each other, and when you happen to just walk in at the same time with a chick, and you walk in, you're like, hey, like you just and you realize you're about to be peeing at the same time I'm going to be peeing. You hear the whoosh. It's kind of horny.
Wow.
Went from battleships to like piss fetishes.
So fetish,
real
dude.
fucking quit, dude.
He's the reason why there's a Me Too movement in a fucking office.
His workplace. Can you imagine Jaden getting fully nude in an office bathroom to take a shit? Like taking his work shirt off and folding it neatly on top of the toilet paper dispenser.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
It's like you walk in, you see his socks. And it's like, why'd you have to take your socks off,
Dude, really? The socks, dude? It's like, bro, you gotta
all the way.
You gotta like juggle that one, because you're gonna put your foot on the bathroom floor and you're gonna get piss on your sock if you do that. There's no way, dude.
Yeah. How'd you get your pants off with your shoes on still? Anyway, so he ends up sending me a picture of him with his shirt off in the stall next to him while we're both taking a shit. So it's kind of an awkward situation still. But
did you get stage fright? Couldn't shit anymore?
No, dude. It was one of those. It was a glorious poo. So, no, but we had a great time, and we were in the day. We were like, yeah, we're gonna go rage tonight. We're gonna go to Nashville and party. And as soon as we left from doing the podcast and we started headed back to his place to get cleaned up, it was like, bro, I ain't trying to go anywhere tonight. Let's just go to Texas Roadhouse or get a steak or some shit and chill. And we did that. And I really enjoyed it. He was a great host. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
House is dope. Vibe is dope. His wife's always cool as shit. And yeah, I definitely, if we ever go back through there, I feel like we should just stay at Millhouse's house.
I love Millhouse, dude.
Yeah.
That's during the Milwaukee trip, and
Yeah.
he had mentioned in the comments too. There's we got back from one of those days just being out all day at the deal, and then ended up in the hot tub at the hotel. Just us and his wife, and Scott was there, a few other guys. It was nice just to chill and just fucking lay out. Heard some old Millhouse stories. So
no, he's full of, he's had a rich life in motorcycling. So, he turned me on to one of his homeboys that I need to reach out to have him on the podcast. It does some like videos and stuff out of like New Orleans. I've been watching some. It's pretty cool. But no, we had a great time, man. And then the next day, the Club Style Tennessee had their party, and dude, it was packed. It was pretty fucking packed. Ben at Get Bent Moto, he set up a little like bike show situation, so he had a lot of that. Got to see Jessup roll in. They got a scene, dude. They got
Lowrider down, right?
Yeah,
Sick.
They got a fucking scene. I guess Sketchy's also now. He's in Knoxville. Outcast Culture. He moved down there.
Oh, is he in Tennessee now?
From
Yeah.
PA.
Yeah, I saw him up there at House of Harley.
And then, yeah, those dudes were killing it out there in the stunt show. I feel like the stunt show like overpowered everything, or the guys out there doing wheelies and burnouts overpowered everything else going on, which is probably fine
I mean,
completely.
if you're gonna do that there, yeah.
I mean, it was like one of those weird things because it was also like it was hot. Like it was a hot ass day. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how we're complaining about 90-degree days, like they're 100+ degree days, but it's still fucking hot. Because we all got a taste of like 70-degree days like a week or two ago.
It's about to hit again this week.
Yeah.
The world to sink again.
So
To 80s.
yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for that to go away, the heat. But
Man, I say that, but you get like maybe a month of nice weather, and then it's fucking just cold as balls out
yeah,
for like another 2 or 3 months. I hate it. I hate the cold.
We devolved to the weather talk.
Just real quickly before you showed up,
It's
you got some
No.
add on that?
our
Super interesting.
our weather's pretty sick. It is. I mean, we've talked about it before. It's not quite. We get dubbed sometimes 12 months of writing. It's not. It's 12 months if you really want to be about it, but a couple months take it off. It's.
yeah. I mean,
But we get a.
how many times have we ridden during like, you know, to IMS show, which is always like right
Yeah.
after New Year's, and how many times are we also riding at a toy run right before Christmas? I mean, yeah, we'd get if you took all the weeks we couldn't ride, you could probably fill them up with like a month and a half.
You always
Of
catch
like-
a good week, a good day during the
Every month has
wintertime.
a couple of days of like 50-degree riding. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. You get some stretches, January, February, where it sucks, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't get out of the 30s and at the most upper 40s.
Yeah.
But it's not much. And like I said, you can still ride in it if you're about it, but it's not a lot of fun. And we have our prolonged days. We'll have that all of a sudden where it gets rain for a fucking week and stuff like that. But no,
I'll be honest, I don't give a shit about riding around town. Every now and then I like to do the bar hopping and stuff like that when the weather's nice. But if someone's like, "Oh, you didn't ride to work today," I'm like, "Nah, bitch. Like, I gotta save my miles for actually doing shit. Otherwise, my shit's gonna fucking like I'm
What a
pushing
waste of miles on a
43,000 miles on my bike. I don't know about you, but I can't be wasting it just going putting back and forth to work to say I fucking got a ball sack on me. Like, fuck that. Like, I'll take the fucking
Everybody
Toyota.
knows you got a ball sack. No bike needed on that one.
Yeah.
No, but the Tennessee was dope, man. I think we need to like do some stuff out there more, like going to Nashville, like just a Nashville trip. You know what I mean?
Sick.
There's just a lot of dudes out there, and they're all into this shit. And for other people to come and party with us down there or ride with us and whatnot, and they got some great riding around there, dude.
Yeah.
I was riding back roads all the way from like northern Memphis, Dyersburg, all the way to Clarksville, where Millhouse is from. It's fucking beautiful, man. It's like nice ass houses, rolling hills, forests and shit. Apparently, there's like a bunch of waterfalls. Remember, we had that titties are waterfalls talk. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Where it doesn't really matter how big the
Oh,
waterfall is. Like a waterfall is a waterfall.
Always awesome.
I want to see them. Yeah.
We could even say pizza. It's like pizza. Doesn't even have to be great. It's still good. It's
Yeah.
always like pizza's always good.
Shit, got Papa John's the other night.
Tennessee is one of my. I almost said earlier when you started leaning into it. That's my number one, especially the club style Tennessee, the dream rides, bike nights, the Thunder Max stuff. That's my number one place that I don't get to enough. That if I could, where would you like to go? In addition to like doing more little stuff in Texas that we've talked about, just really knowing my state inside and out. Tennessee's the next one where it's not so far.
Yeah.
It's like you can almost get away with it going. It's just a little rip, but it's
Yeah.
a little rip if you're kind of dumb. Like if you're willing to go 200 miles for tacos, you can go to fucking Tennessee for a weekend kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I hate that I haven't. It's never like it's always been like the worst of the worst when they do have this stuff because that's one of the things at the top of my list. I want to start getting out there more.
Well, if you think about it, like every time I know, speaking from like just me and all of us though, every time we think about Tennessee, we want to go to the Smokies, and I think I'm kind of over that right now. It's just kind of getting hoarded out, if you will. That I would rather like do the Natchez Trace. I'd rather just do like a straight,
We just talked about that the other day.
Yeah.
like straight hangout in Nashville and ride all the stuff around it. Now that we know people in Nashville, like maybe we can get off the main drag and find the bars that are like,
Worth
you
the
know,
fuck.
yeah, like not so trendy and woo girly. That way we can kind of just do that shit. And I don't know, man. I feel like that's like you don't even. I mean, even Knoxville, but Knoxville kind of like wraps up into the smoky stuff because it's like right there. But I'd rather do some straight up Nashville, even some Memphis stuff. Go fuck with Rusty over there and go to Beale Street, go party. Just try not to get shot. You know what I mean? Like, have a good time. You know what I mean? I'm into that shit. I don't know. I feel like it's like a lot of cool shit right there. The Loretta Lynn's thing, I definitely want to go to that now. It's just so close. It's every year. It's been like right before our big trip together, and right after our camp out. And I think this year coming up, it's right on the same weekend as Texas Hills. So I guess we'll all go fuck ourselves.
Yeah. It's that eternal pick and choose and stuff. But I was even thinking, it's about time we probably need to have a big trip meeting.
Yeah, it's coming up. We're so scattered.
We usually do it like.
We're not. We usually do it in December, but right now I think we're all over the place with like details of it. Like I mean, I think we all agree that we want to do the Midwest. I mean, that we have to do the Midwest, but the Midwest is like it's not as far, so we don't have as many of those longer days of traveling or getting away from here. But like, what do we do? What do we like? There's just a lot to figure out.
I think that's why a meeting, maybe even a little sooner than when we usually do it, is even more important because and this is one of those, all the East Texas dudes where sometimes, they'll send one or two guys with the proxy for the rest of them. That basically, I don't care, I'm down for whatever. Maybe get everybody around it, around the table, and because it is going to be one of those. All right, do we want to make this? You got all options. Do we want to make this a shorter trip than what we've done, like a lot shorter? Do we want to try to keep this under 2 weeks to try to keep some powder dry where we can all do other stuff? Because let's be honest, especially for you, the trip has only gotten longer and longer, and at some aspects, it hamstrings dudes with time off the rest of the year.
Yeah,
because it's taking a 2.5, almost 3 week block of your time off, and some guys don't have that much off. Whether it's you're just straight not making money, or whether it's you and you've only got so much time off, it's what I mean. It's the longer it goes, the harder. So in this one, that's an honest thing that we could bring up. Hey, if we want to knock these states off, do we want to do this in a shorter time? And we're used to the miles. Do we want to bang long? Do we want fewer long days where we just do this shit to say we're done and then we all can all do stuff later? Or do we want to stretch it out? Do you want to do normal?
Yeah. James had a good idea for us to knock out every state we have left. But then I also do agree that I would rather split it up a couple times and do 2 of them a year. Like, you know, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that kind of thing. But I don't know.
We go 2 different ways.
This is where it gets tough because now we have like only a few states left to hit as a group. And we only they're not the most desirable states to hit. Except for like West Virginia. Like I really want to go to West Virginia.
But that's the thing. So they're all in a block except South Carolina and West Virginia.
But if you look at it, it's no bigger than last year's trip to hit all of them.
All of them?
Yeah. If we did it in a 2 week spot, we could do it them all.
Last year's trip or this year's trip?
This year's, that's what I meant, yeah.
This year's trip, we didn't have one layover day, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It could be done in 2 weeks, but do we want to do it that way?
I'd rather not. I'd rather hyper-focus areas.
Yeah.
There's something about knocking out the block that are all untouched and then hitting West Virginia, South Carolina on a separate trip where maybe not as long, but I don't know, maybe we do a bike week or something out there where it's just an excuse to.
I feel like we can always hit North Dakota like on a Sturgis trip.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to have this conversation. Yeah,
that's the whole fucking point is that we all need to sit down and have it. But
yeah, it's been hashed out a few times or talked about, at random things, but it's never been gone over. So it needs to be.
Had a question on here. As much as you guys ride and have longer riding season, curious how many miles y'all rack up on your bikes. So, you've had your bike for what, since 19?
Yeah, November 2019, so very end of the year. And I've almost had it for what, 3 years now then?
Yeah.
I got my bike with 800 miles on it, and now I've got 43,000. So
okay. And I want to say Big Will Cody is where, like 40s?
He's in the 50s.
He's in the 50,000?
He's like 1 or 2 big trips. Like he's like, I think he's right at 50 if I remember right, because I think he's won. He did that Smokies trip with y'all.
Yeah.
And I think that was the only one that I really missed out on. I say that, but then he went to
He's
Daytona
done
and all that stuff.
He done a lot of his own
exactly.
trips. Yeah, and that's when he bought the bike on that trip in 19.
Oh yeah, that's what that's the one I counted him being 5,000 miles ahead of me for sure.
Yeah.
Or whatever y'all did, and then plus probably another 5,000. So I think he's right at like 50 or 53, something like that. We talked about it because I asked him. That just lets me know I got at least 10 grand more to go. We got the same cam, the same bike, same motor, all that shit. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just kind of going off what happens to Cody's bike.
Yeah.
Judging what'll happen to mine.
Figure it out. Yeah. No, I think that we want to have the least amount of miles possible because we want to keep these bikes on the road longer. But, on average, I know for a fact my average per year is about 20 to 25,000 miles, which, it's not. I mean, I know cats that do way more than I do. You know what I mean? 100%. But I know a lot of people that will never see 25,000 miles in their entire motorcycle career. So there's that.
Yeah.
So,
it's just. You got people all over the end of the spectrum. Most of the people that got a shitload of miles on their bike, you don't even really know about because they're too busy riding their fucking motorcycle.
Yeah, Chris Hopper, man, he's got 100,000 miles in 100 days, man.
Yeah.
There's levels to this shit, and none of us are on that level. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
That lowrider had 1,600 on it when Jacob dropped it off here, and I'm past 12K, almost 13,000 on it. So the big trip, but then I've also...
I'm sure Jacob loves hearing that.
Hey, payments are being made, my man. It's my bike now.
Hey, buy my bike, bitch. That's what he's saying.
Nah, well, like I said, we try to do the miles, but I think it's more about like not just saying because when I talked to that dude Chris Hopper did 100,000 miles 100 days, like he gets to say yes I rode 100,000 miles, but he also said that he doesn't get to enjoy those 100,000 miles. So it's a balance of getting out on the road and having these experiences, but not being so forced to make miles. Like, because at the end of the day, if it's all about miles, that's numbers. It's no different than hey, I got more followers than you, or blah blah blah. And it's that's there's no fulfilling in that. There's no substance behind that, if that makes sense.
I'm glad you said that. That's a good segue. Because that's something that I've always felt. I think I've told you guys before, I've said on the podcast, the big trip 2 years ago when I got lost, I miss a solo traveling, and I love being on your own schedule. And as rad as it is to ride around with buddies, there's something about being on your own time.
Yeah. And
it seems like I'm seeing a little bit more, I don't want to say resurgence or whatever, but Justin Kelly, a guy that we all love, he just had a big trip. And I think at the end of it, I think that's kind of an annual trip. It's not something out of the world for him, but it seems like his overall message to, kind of try to paraphrase it was he's been doing a lot of stuff to kind of say he's been there and he's done it, but he's at the point now where he misses, if he sees a field with a fucking tree underneath it and he wants to stop and go take a nap under that tree, he wants to be able to do that and not be kind of bound by the constraints of schedule and time and obligations to be somewhere. And that's something I've seen some other people kind of doing that lately where they're kind of doing their own thing and doing it at their own pace and stopping. Kellen, a guy we were talking about earlier today, who's been on an epic trip, seeing a picture he posted earlier where he, was able to stop. It's one of the things you see it and you realize, okay, he probably drove by it once, went to the end, turned around, came back, and took a shot to get these, the Mississippi River with these bridges over it. And it's stuff like that where I love that. And I want to get more into taking the stuff where, you know what, I'm on my own time, whether it's, we've done that before. We've done East Texas runs where we passed through this little community. It was my mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
It was literally, it was 200 people that lived there. They didn't have and I was like, hey, dude, I need to get a picture. This is fucking, I know it's dumb to you. It sounds something. I go, it's mean a lot for me. And just having that one, and I still have it. It's a black and white photo of the back of a dyno with a bunch of shit that were coming back from Nitty Gritty. It was just, it's not the license plate. It's not a good picture, but when I see it, I still get a little feeling well, I look forward to getting into more of that. And it seems like there's some more people that are doing that it's awesome to make all the events and do that stuff. But man, something about being on the bike is you do have to connect with the things that you want to connect with. And that's taking over and smoking a joint next to this river or taking a shit at this fucking behind this tree or just fucking looking at the road, whatever the fuck, taking a
I
picture.
shit right there.
It is
I
what it
shit
is.
there
I mean,
last year.
Do what makes
behind
you
that
happy,
there
man.
tree.
Do what moves your soul, because that's ultimately what you're out here to do.
On that same note, if you think about it, like, and I guess, you know, I'm also, I haven't helped this at all, but like when we talk about all these trips and all this stuff, it does kind of come off, I think sometimes for certain years, like about, oh, we did this many states or these many miles. Like the numbers, the analytics of like our stories are things that some people can understand. Like I can do those states. Maybe I can have that experience, right?
Yeah.
And it's totally different. Well, I think that like when we chase miles, we chase this, we chase states, we chase state lines, or those I said I did this, you know, those are good if we're all like, we have a playing card with our stats on the back, but we don't really have that, right?
Yeah.
A great example, I think, when we did that podcast with Adam, were you on that podcast or was Matt running it? The Run to Terralingua.
Yeah, me.
You were on that?
Adam and Cooch and
No. That was Cooch
or
was
Mike. Yeah.
So there was a dude, Mike, that was sitting here.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah, sweet Mike.
That dude blew my mind. I'm like,
He was awesome. Absolutely right.
like, this dude didn't come in here with like, I didn't know who the fuck this guy was, but he had so much history and experience on motorcycles and in this culture. I was like, dude, I could listen to this dude talk for hours about his stories.
Oh, yeah.
And so to me, I think it's about like the stories don't necessarily get the publicity that I think that everybody's chasing on social media right now. Like everything's trendy. This is a rant that I'm trying to figure out on this podcast. Everything seems to be like a trend on social media right now where people are doing this because it's the thing to do, or that because it's the thing to do, or their reels become the same reels that everybody does. Like there's no originality. And I think the most original thing to do right now in the motorcycle scene is to just fucking ride and go places and not make cringy videos about it. You know what I'm saying? Have a story to tell. Like, come back. Do this, then don't. Like, I would almost rather listen to someone tell me a story through a reel than listen to them do these dumbass walk-arounds and these baseballs coming at the camera and then all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that was one of the things about Justin's post that I really liked. It was a bunch of pictures of basically the same vantage point, his camera behind the handlebars, and just in different states. And, you know, there's something to that where it's you can only reinvent the wheel so many times, but that's ultimately what it's all about. You know, he said at this point, I think he hit all 48 on that trip. And I'm not going to lie, whether it's pride, narcissism, whatever, I do want to be able to say I've ridden my bike in all lower 48s. And I'll tell you what, boys, Hawaii's a lot fucking closer than I ever thought it would be at this point. Johnny Utah, we'll be talking soon. But yeah, I wanted to be able to say I've ridden in all lower 48, and kind of what Justin was saying in his post was he's ridden in all 48. He can say that, but he doesn't know how much he can say he's experienced all 48, and that's the kind of stuff where I want to be able to go, oh yeah, like I hit the course of this, or we rode through this on a trip, and I don't really remember it because it was a small state, as opposed to I want to, oh yeah, Maine. Do you remember that time where the fucking lobster rolls, or a different trip where we say, oh, do you remember that time we slept under the bridge because we fucked up and the campground was closed, or
those lobster rolls were whack.
Just stuff, something like, but you know what I mean, where you can, each state you actually have an identifiable memory, and
that's the way to do it.
It's not just nameless cruising through, because we've got states like that. Where
that's
I
West
look back, I'm
Virginia
like,
for me.
fuck, have I been there? Oh yeah, I have been there. We
Technically
I don't
Georgia.
remember it because I was thinking about my fucking high school sweetheart from whatever the fuck. You're riding on these big trips.
We talked about like we've all ridden through Georgia together, but it was only that corner.
Content.
Hey, guess
It was
what?
a 30-minute.
We did it though. Fuck it. That gives us a reason to knock it off the list, but we can always come back to it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we have to. Boz is there. That's Boz's home state. Like, we've got to go to Georgia.
I don't know.
As far as that
I want
goes-
to do Savannah so bad. I want to go check that out and do that vibe.
I heard Savannah's badass.
Parts of Savannah. Amanda stayed in Savannah the other night, and apparently she stayed in one of the cool parts, and she was like, it's like Deep Ellum if it was a lot more poor. Like, it's like...
How could you be more poor?
Yeah, but she was like, like I said, I'll fill you in on other
Hide your
details
money.
later.
Poor people around.
But, yeah, but I say that there's so many spots of Georgia that have to be fucking
Oh, they got
nice.
terrain up there, especially when you go north of like Atlanta and everything. But
Or Denton is too, right?
yeah, he's north of Atlanta, I believe.
Boz, get ready, dude. You're going to be our tour guide in Georgia.
No, but yeah, I don't disagree. Like what you said, like there's nothing wrong with having those personal goals of hitting all these places. And honestly, to be my own devil's advocate, it might be that these little goals might be the reason that gets you hooked up into doing these more fruitful trips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More indulging into these states and finding out more what they have to offer. And you would have never even tried to even understand it if you didn't do the 48 just to do that.
Yeah.
And be like, you know what? I want to come back here because we just ran through this place.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Yeah, I do agree.
We stopped in this place, and you know what? This is badass. I didn't want to leave the next morning. I had to leave because I was with 8 other dudes, and we're on a fucking mission. We're on a trip, whatever. But I didn't want to. My heart was telling me to stay here. Yes, places like that where you want to fucking hang back, but you can't because you're on a trip. That's ultimately what I'm looking forward to. On
our last trip, if you could pick 2 places that you would want to stay an extra day, where do you think you would have wanted to stay, both of you guys?
Missoula would have been a really good one just to explore. I don't know about like live there, you know what I mean? But I would have loved to stay there and just check it out. Oh, man, there's so many places. God damn. When you think about that trip.
Just 2, though.
I really liked.
You can't, dude. You can't. Between all the stuff in California, as much shit as we talk about it sometimes, all the shit in Oregon, the stuff in Washington, we didn't even really get to what we wanted to in Washington.
What was it town we stayed at? McCall, Idaho?
McCall.
That was where we went to the bars.
Yeah. The one at night. That was the one that was right before Boise, right?
No, well, yeah. No, that's right. That was the last like place we stayed together as a group before me and Jaden split.
But it was like you, me, Cody, and Chance went out.
Yeah,
Larry popped in.
I really liked that town, but it was a little dead. The town was a little dead, but
you think
the town
there
the
2
town
towns?
itself was really.
They
cool.
said that's a ski resort town. That's when the winter it thrives, and in the summer it's a little.
There's something about it that kind of made me like, this is a pretty cool town. Like I don't know, like on that specific trip, I probably couldn't do 2 days there just because it'd be kind of like.
What was the town where we stopped in the diner? I think, and it was
Crescent City.
The waitress, and she was kind of portly, and she was cool, and it was a big horseshoe bar.
That Crescent City in California.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But then we moved on, and then the next town in Oregon was it Gold Beach?
Yeah,
Gold Beach. How the fuck could you not live in Gold Beach, or at least somewhere out there where? You go like that's your bar. That's your whatever that's your anvil where you roll in and you get that sunset every night on the water. Dude. Fuck out of here! Like
it was like something AA bar or something like that. The one that
yeah.
That one was cool.
Yeah,
it was. I like that. Just
that's
that
good
setup.
food, man. I had probably the best steaks of my life on that trip, and we ate steaks everywhere.
Yeah,
it seemed like. Yeah, that's a hard one. Because. I think Missoula probably would have been a fun one to stay a double night, but
that's what we're talking about. Then is now is fine tuning and stuff. Where guess what, we're gonna go stay 3 nights in Missoula, or you find somewhere where the writing's good enough, where you can pick your spot.
I feel like we could have stayed in Missoula and went and saw other shit, and then came back there.
And you hit the bar, and then guess what? The next night, you know the bartenders again because you were there the night before, but you can go ride a different direction. There's places like that where you can do it and you can make it your little mecca.
Well, I want to do that like Missoula because you got Glacier National Park north of there.
Oh,
you have
Cody's got the biggest heart on for Glacier too. I want to. We've got some mutual homegirls that did a big thing, and I want to go to Glacier so bad now.
Yeah, it'd be fun, man. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to so many places staying over an extra night would have been fun. Like, that's a hard one. I don't even think I could answer it. 100%.
It's too tough. Yeah.
Fuck, I'd say 2 nights with Steve again in Disco Bay if he put us up. If he still got the trap house.
Yeah, that was fun.
Leave that plate out in the kitchen, my man. I'll do everybody's laundry.
I think he booed up for the winter, and they got rid of the trap house for the summer. So. Oh. He's been like booing up, like doing like couples posts on Instagram and shit. I'm like, okay, he's got the system down. But no, yeah, that'd have been fun. But you know what's weird? Straight up, what is it? What is a Sunday? So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I have 4 more days left of my 30s. That's it. As each day gets closer to my birthday next week, it's more and more like I'm thinking about my 30s. I'm thinking about my whole last 10 years of my life, like everything that I've done and things I fucked up, blah, blah, blah. And it's weird. I don't know. You're 38, right?
Yeah. But is it trip? So the number is actually tripping with you. Like
Yeah.
you're tripping on it. Because I don't feel like I tripped at all. Like going
20 to 30? No, I
I
felt
don't think
fine.
I cared
Yeah.
much. I was like, oof, it doesn't sound good, but it's not that bad. Like
Well, I think
I'm
because
still me. I'm still me.
when you go 29 to 30, like everything feels like you're still in your 20s. Like there's nothing like the transition. Like you still have energy for the most part. Like you still have you're not like looked at like a 30-year-old and a 20-year-old. There's definitely a difference, but there's not as much different as a 40-year-old to a 20-year-old, right? So me, I feel like whenever I'm around a bunch of 25-year-olds, I have a hard time. Like I just I can't deal with all these goddamn kids and their stupid ass conversations and saying their languages now. I'm an old man, you know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, like I don't have like I think what ends up happening is that like I don't look at like, oh, I have another 10 years of my youth left to try shit and figure things out. I look at like I need to like I've already had all the figuring out I need to do. I need to accomplish now. Like if I
Your
can't
30s is kind of the high school of life. Like
Yeah.
that's like you can prolong it as long as you
You're
want.
like you're an
But once-
upperclassman adult.
Once you get to 40, that's almost like, okay, now you're a fucking adult. Like now the life part
Yeah.
of your life starts, and you gotta kind of fucking know what you're doing.
like all the shit, like
Sucks.
all the procrastination, that I've had in my life, it's all come to a head now. Where it's like, if I don't get this figured out now, it's a worse problem next year and going further. And then you like the energy thing. Like this might just be a low T thing, to be completely honest with you. But at the same time, it's like I used to be able to work and like go stay in the shop till 3 a.m. every night and then be back at work at 9 a.m. like it was nothing. And just bang shit out and get things done. I can't do that anymore. I just don't have the energy or the desire to do it. And so I think like I can't produce the way I used to produce. So I have to be more methodical in everything I do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you start thinking like, fuck, 10 more years. So I think about the last 10 years and where I was and where I am. And I think in 10 more years, like I'm close to getting a fucking decent price on my meal. You know what I'm saying? Like a fucking 15 years from now, dude, I'm getting a fucking different price on my meal. Isn't it 55?
Yeah.
Yeah.
AARP, son.
Yeah. That's like,
Yeah, but then your brain is probably still in its peak. You're getting like your brain gets sharper and sharper. Yeah, your body starts dropping off a little bit, but like I said, we'll get on that fucking.
fuck around, beat Stephen Hawkins and sitting here.
No, dude, we'll get on that fucking
helping people out with their bike shops. Like, yeah, this is what you do. Because
No, we'll get on that fucking goo plan, and we'll start taking some testosterone.
I want to so
Get our
bad.
fucking bodies, get our bodies in check. Like I said, your
If
your
y'all
mind's
just
not
went
gonna
right
get.
now, they'd
Your
probably be
mind's
like,
not
yeah,
gonna
here,
get.
This is what you need right now.
It's not gonna start getting duller for a while.
Well, that's why I've been like trying to like be very more mindful
Your
of
body's
like,
gonna drop off before your mind does.
Yeah.
As far as when you start seeing like, oh, I feel old and this and that. That's all your body.
You just gotta maintain it ahead of time.
Yeah,
It sucks
exactly.
though. It's hard.
well, that's why I've been trying to get into this routine of working out and things like that, and be a little bit more mindful of that. I haven't had the desire to get like hammered drunk all the time. I've never had a desire to get drunk. I just like it's always the process of getting drunk that I've always enjoyed. But I just, man, I've been trying to like, not,
Yeah.
like not like make that the main focus of my days and whatnot, and try to get more things that I actually want to do, like do more photo shoots with the homies like we did with Jetty this week, or make time to go do more of the things that I want to do that are actually more beneficial to my life as far as like progressing all the different avenues of shit that I'm interested in, whether it's podcasting or photography or painting or just writing or hanging out with my fucking wife. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's like it's a weird thing. A lot of my 30s have been probably have been great, but at the same time, there's just so many different, like looking back on it, like, man, I wish I would have jumped in this harder. I wish I would have had this kind of insight earlier and like did this more. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the hardest part about getting older is like, the more and more I want to be out there on the road riding, doing all these types of things. And like, I just have more responsibility now. It's every year it's more responsibility. It's hard to get out and do all that shit. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah.
To be young again.
Well, yeah, if nothing else, I mean, if you're listening to this, if you're in your mid-20s, it's something to think about. You know what I mean? Like, you always think it's going to get easier and better as you get older. Yeah, in some aspects for sure, but at the same time, that's the age old. You either have the time or the money kind of thing. And right now, you've got the time. If you're a younger dude, you may not have all the money, but guess what? The road provides, man. Figure it out. Like you can do it super cheap and.
That's why I would say, like, all the people
while you can,
all the people that might younger, the 20-year-old guys that might be fortunate enough to be able to own a Harley, don't fucking worry about it looking like my Harley. Like, that's stupid. Don't do that. Just go out and ride it, because those experiences you can have at this 20-year-old they can give you perspective that took me till I was 33, 35 to get. You know what I mean? I wish I would have had that at 20 years old. And whether you're doing that on a fancy bike or not is who fucking cares. At the end of the day, I can tell you right now, if we go to a bar and we sit down and it's some dude on a Suzuki Bandit that rode across country, we're gonna chop it up for hours, regardless of what type of brand bike he has or how cool or not cool it is, because he did something rad on that bike. That's the true connection and I think things that we care about.
Yeah, dudes like Todd that lay down the miles, and he's a young guy, and all of a sudden he's got a newer Street Bob. He's swapping it out for a lowrider tank. I go, oh, dude, but just so he gets a little bit more gas. He's like, dude, I put so many miles down. He goes, I just need a little bit bigger tank. Yeah. I fuck with that. Like, that's awesome. Like, it's, I don't know. It's just, come on, dude. Come on. Like,
so other than like that thing coming up this week, I'm stoked about it. You know, we got a great podcast coming this Friday with Craig from the Down South Campout, which is going to be, what was it, November 5th, 6th?
Yeah,
6th?
First weekend in November.
Yeah. So this Friday, we got a live coming that's going to be pretty wild that I think people are going to want to be a part of. Check this one out. I think what I'm going to start doing on the live podcast is we're going to do them live, and then I'm going to take them off YouTube until the podcast release. So I'm going to take them off YouTube and put them on Patreon so that people can still watch them on Patreon. But until the podcast gets released onto like the podcast, whatever, then that's where they're going to stay.
I'm going to do a little build up for that podcast. I've got a major station announcement to make on that podcast about the Down South Campout, mainly my attendance, which is kind of a big deal. But I'm joking. I'm probably in, boys. I'm probably in. Fuck the announcement. I'm not saving it for the podcast. It looked like we were going to be moving. I didn't think I'd be able to be in.
Yeah.
I think I'm free on that one.
Hell yeah.
No one fucking cares.
You say that.
No one fucking
I'm going to bring
cares.
a bunch of dudes with me. It's be dragging in his fucking subjects riding behind me.
It's fucking lizards.
Sorry, I've been watching a bunch of Game of Thrones lately. Yeah. But no, I think I actually am in, where it's I've missed a lot of stuff, just life stuff happening.
You need to dye your hair blonde and go full in Targaryen.
His hair's pretty blonde already.
Daemon is here, baby. But yeah, all of a sudden it's
Hide your sisters.
Move, yeah. hide my nieces. Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I didn't think I was going to be able to make it. It was just one of those things where I was pretty much chalking up the rest of the year as, it sucks. Like, just, oh well, getting the wheels back on track and we'll figure it out. I think I'm going to make this one, and I'm so excited to make it. As far as some of the stuff I have missed, like I'm looking forward to the suck. I'm looking forward to.
I can't wait till we fucking
Alabama, all the shit that nobody likes. Like I can't wait just for whoever it's with, whether it's you, whoever. I'm gonna lean hard on Jones.
I'm flying.
You're you know what?
I can't wait till everybody.
Scratch on this, guys. I may be flying with Kyle. I like it more than all
time
y'all.
wise, that's the only way I can make it. So I'll see y'all there.
Well, a lot of people are still going to a Lone Star, a lot of the Texas boys, which is fine because, it's hard to do real man shit like we're going to do and go to the Down South. So, I get it.
Do you know what the one in Galveston?
Yeah.
I've got a really good invite. If I can't make Lone Star or if I can't make Down South, I have a contingency for Lone Star.
Really? You going to make that announcement and then say, well, I might not make it because I'm going to go to fucking...
Nah, fuck Lone Star, man. I don't know. Like, my thing still stands. I feel like we have homies putting on events here, and I feel like we all owe it to each other to support each other's events and not go to the easy shit. Yeah, I get it. It's easy. It's easy to go to Lone Star Rally because it's fucking 250 miles away, and I get it. I'm not mad at anybody, but we've
if there wasn't anything else going on, I'd be down to do something like that.
Well, it depends on who it is. If it's somebody that's done multiple events all year and it's laid down literally thousands of fucking miles.
I don't give a fuck.
If you want to lay up, I'm not mad at you.
I don't give no.
But down
Bitches
south,
lay up.
I want to go to down south.
Dude, some of my best friends are going to Lone Star instead of down south, and I get it. It's easier, but at the same time,
some of the same dudes, or at least one of those dudes, is laid down.
Yeah.
Seriously, has done it everything.
yeah.
So
And I'm
not
proud
mad.
of them.
The other one is who he
I'm
is.
still shaking my head.
What I'm looking forward to is what kind of a couple years ago. I'm hoping to meet up in
The
Jackson,
one year they come, the one year they don't. So they come the middle year, right? So we're all gonna go back to the down south like we did the first year and have a fucking rager like we did the first year. They brought the rain last year when all the guys that didn't come the first year.
We're gonna meet up in Jackson with all the Arkansas boys. Scott's gonna roll out.
Yeah.
Deep.
I'm gonna have a rental car. I'll be all right.
Scott, Evan, all those dudes. We're gonna meet up with those guys. It's gonna be so fucking fun. The mercenary guys will all come down. Like it's dude,
Yeah.
down south is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm actually now it's looking like a green light. Because I've been laying back, almost like don't get a no. I don't like her. Like she won't like you back. So you're like, oh, I don't like her at all. Like I've been no. Now I'm back. Oof.
I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be fun, man. Everybody, we got Born Free coming up.
What are you laughing at, Kyle?
Want to fuck Florida so bad, dude?
Want to fuck Florida?
I got wild stories in Florida since then. That's probably we'll do that a Patreon one, but I've left cum in Florida, and
So
Fucking guy.
we got Born Free Texas coming up. Also 2 weeks before the down south, and that's shaping up to be a big event, man. I think that's going to be. We all kind of set back, not knowing what to expect on it, and now that it's getting closer, I think the hype is starting to come. It's starting to get more like you can touch it, kind of feel. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to that. We got a booth for that.
Yeah.
We've also gotten our pre-party. When I say our, I mean Texas. Like a lot of the cats, like Hang 'em High, Fast Life Garage, DFW Diner Crew. A lot of us are gonna put together this party at Strokers the Thursday before down south or Born Free Texas at Strokers here in Dallas, and it's gonna be kind of like the performance motorcycle pre-party. So should have like FXR Division, possibly Speed Kings, and a lot of the cats from California coming through. Looking forward to it, man. I'm glad that I had a long talk with the guys that own Born Free, and they kind of filled me in on everything. I think they're going to be on the podcast not this week, but next week. It'll be a phone podcast because, well, it costs a lot of money to fly from Oregon to Texas, so
Right.
it's not in the plans, but. No, I'm excited about it. I think that they did open up camping on Friday. So at first it was no camping on Friday, and now they've opened that up. And I think it's going to be the perfect time of the year to camp.
It should be great.
You know what I mean?
It'll be that. Usually that's the week before it starts really.
Getting shitty.
Yeah. Is it fucking raining?
Is it raining?
Yeah, that's definitely raining. Okay, well,
Wow.
I guess it's raining today. Well, you know what? It is supposed to. The temperatures are dropping tomorrow, so I think it's probably like part of this cold front coming in. Oh, that's a
He's
little
pulling his
fucking
bike in.
a little swoon. Or what do you call them? A swelt?
A swell. But no, so Born Free should be pretty rad. I mean,
Schooner.
I know a lot of people coming. And like I said, we're going to have a great time here. We got a booth. We got Born Free only T-shirts, Fast Life T-shirts coming out. So
Fuck yeah.
only a limited amount of those, and hopefully, people that are there, they can pick one up, and we'll have their size.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people still want to buy them though, even if there's only a few left. So.
Yeah, like I said, I
So
like the
it's more
idea
of
of
a-
doing like these special runs of things just now that we're trying to get to the point where we're doing full apparel and shit like that.
Right.
But we're still trying to find a printer that's like legit.
Worth the shit.
I like my dude that did it. I like him as a person. I love the guy, but he's been very inconsistent with like what he's provided for us. 3 different runs of shirts, and each time it was either a problem with timing, with the quality of shirt that we had actually agreed to buy, and then with the quality we actually got when we actually got it. So it's been
I'll say
very
again,
consistent.
whoever Texas Hills used for their shirts this year fucking killed it.
For real.
That shirt, the shirt quality itself is super nice. Mm-hmm. It's a nice, thick, heavier shirt, but it's still soft and comfortable. But like the print on it isn't like a fucking back patch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It blends. It's nice.
I'm into it.
Speaking of that Texas weather, we had a little pop-up rainstorm.
No
You
shit.
can't
We were
hear
that's
it.
what the fuck?
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt with the garage coming up.
I think my windows are down a little bit. Are they?
I didn't see him, but I'll double check.
My keys are on the thing down there.
This fucking guy.
We talked about the down south. We skipped a big event. Are we gonna get back into Born Free?
We're talking about it
We're
now.
talking about it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole fucking guy over here. Leave it to Jaden.
What are you thinking about doing? What are you gonna do this month? Like, what's your trips?
Just for October or for
October.
I ain't got shit, dude. I'm chilling.
So-
I'm chilling till Born Free and Down South are my only
Like guarantees.
things for the rest of the year. Time wise, money wise, just I don't know. I'm trying to chill for a little bit, do some shit with the lady, maybe take her out to some stuff, just on our own.
Yeah.
But other than that, just kind of chilling. Really, I need to. I don't know. Probably go do some more of our like Eureka Springs or
I want to do some more.
you know what I mean? Just some like trips like that for ourselves, just to kind of get out and, give her some time because
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of fucking shit this year. So I need to mix. I got to play that mix-up game because.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
But it's Nitty Gritty's happening this weekend.
Oh,
right?
it's this weekend?
No, sorry. I'm sorry. Next week. First weekend in October is Nitty Gritty too.
First weekend of October is next weekend.
Yeah, 2 weekends from now. I meant.
That's when the Adam Sandoval Stubborn America parties that
Is it?
weekend too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had like a slow announcement, I think, or a late announcement for Nitty Gritty. But yeah, it's that first weekend in October.
Yeah.
Down at Conroe for those that are interested.
October or November?
October.
Birthday weekend, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be busy that weekend myself, but
Yeah. If that's the weekend that we got plans, then I
Yeah.
can't.
yeah. No, but figure I'd throw it out there just for the people that can make it.
Well, we could always
Nitty Gritty is always a fucking good ass time.
Yeah.
I made it the last.
Wake
I
up
made it the
Sunday
last
morning.
3 years.
Wake up Sunday morning, blast down there for the show. Would not
I don't know
be
if they're
worth
doing the
it.
show on.
Remember I
Sunday.
told you I'm turning 40? I'll be 40 then. I'll be way too old to be doing something like that.
Yeah.
Well, you were late coming around on drinking. You're just gonna be late coming around on cocaine. You'll get into cocaine in your 40s, and all of a sudden you're gonna this newfound,
Cocaine and testosterone.
newfound youth.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to do everything.
Jay's gonna be swollen, angry.
Oh, man. I hope not. The only thing I've wanted to do recently, drug-wise, is ecstasy. I've never tried that.
I feel like I got out of high school without having to do ecstasy. Like high school, like young college age, and I never did it, and I don't really want to do it now.
I say I want to do it, but I probably don't. But like I've gotten wrapped up in some YouTube rabbit holes on like Burning Man. I just want to that looks fun. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole concept of Burning Man looks fun as hell.
Yeah.
but, you know.
I listened to a few podcasts, mostly with Duncan
you-
Trussell.
Did you do? Andrew Schultz took his whole team to Burning Man this recent
Really?
one, and I listened to the podcast they were doing. And then I went down a couple other rabbit holes of Burning Man.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that looks.
It's fun for the right purposes, but they like anything else, it's gotten kind of commercialized.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What do they
Well,
do?
they still-
DMT and stuff.
No, they
Dude,
drink.
it's a whole fucking.
It's dude. If you watch the videos I watch, it's us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But,
it
like
looks-
dressed
it's
up
gonna
as
be, it's a good time,
like
and actually
cosplay.
it is like I hate to say it, like a spiritual experience, but from what the people that go every year for the same reasons they go every year, it sounds fun as fuck. He's like, yeah, you'll have the rich people that show up, like the what do you call it, the fucking Silicon Valley motherfuckers that show up every year, I guess, and they have their own like little secluded areas to themselves. But then like
I'd almost
the
do-
main reason for it is still like alive and well, I guess. But
Well, if I need a spiritual experience,
Hey,
with people I want to be
you're not
around,
welcome, dude. You
guess
don't
what?
have to go.
I'll do a shroom fest with the homies. We'll do a shroom fest
Yeah.
in East Texas where it's just us.
They got
basically
those-
it's a big trip, and we all just take like 3.5 grams at once and just
They-
sayonara.
They
There's
have those
something-
already.
Yeah.
those
But
kind of
otherwise,
festivals.
man, I don't need to. Especially being around strangers in a public place, I'm good with my 4 horsemen of drugs.
I think
weed, cocaine, marijuana, and mushrooms.
I wouldn't.
take a little bit of pill. I'll fuck with
Weed, cocaine, marijuana.
Yeah, that's all you need. That's the 4 horsemen. And then
he says,
fuck
he
with-
says 3 things. 2 of them are the same thing, and then he says the 4 horsemen.
Wait, yeah, what did I say? All right, sorry. I did mess that up.
Weed, alcohol. There you go.
Yeah,
two-
that's what you meant.
2
And
squares.
you fuck around
of
with pills a little bit. Take a Valium when you need one. Take a Xanax when you need one. Just don't abuse
I
them.
think-
they don't get you anywhere.
I don't know. It's a whole. It sounds fun as fuck. Whatever.
Keep
it
your
is.
nose to the grindstone and out of the pills, kids.
Okay, Tyler. It looks like a good time, and I wouldn't turn down an invite to it. You know what I mean? If I could go, but it's not like I'm like I have to go do it. But
Yeah,
it
I'm not on
sounds
that
fun.
either. But we rode through and we were coming back. When we left John Teller's house and we were going to down south or down to TBJ's. We rode by one of the main entrances into the area where they do that. It's like when they were all those crickets were going across the road. We hit a junction maybe like 10 or 20 miles after that, where you take that to the west, like to the right from where we were going, and it would take us to this like huge dry lake bed where they do Burning Man, and it's just north of Reno, kind of tucked up in the corner of Nevada there. And dude, I don't know, like I never gave a fuck about it either. I'd hear people talk about it on like Rogan's podcast every once in a while, and then when Andrew, like I said, I listened to a lot of the Andrew Schultz Flagrant 2 podcast, and whenever they talked about their whole experience on it and following their podcast and knowing who these guys are and how similar we all are in our antics and how we act, I was like, yeah, I could see like doing that. I wouldn't want to do it with my wife at all. Like I wouldn't want to, but like as like a freedom, like what they said was
Us 3, Cody and Jacob.
that'd be the shit. That'd be the shit. You know
Watch out, Mal.
Yeah. But I don't know. It just seemed like I don't know. It seemed interesting. Like it's just something going on that's like accessible, even though I think it's really expensive to go there and be a part of it. You got to do
that.
Apparently, it's like a lot of bartering when you're there.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
Here, but I mean, there's actual like price to get in too, though.
I'll
so.
suck your dick for that ecstasy.
No, apparently
bartering?
it's water. Water is one of the hottest commodities, and you have to. It's a barter system there where you have to provide something for people. Like it's weird. It's some hippie shit, but don't get me wrong.
Lucky for you, I'm a master level hand jobber.
Jaden's providing us water for the weekend.
Who needs to get beat off? Pointing at this guy.
Oh shit. But yeah, so we have Born Free coming up.
Yeah.
Born Free. So I'm doing the run to Terralingua, but like I said in that podcast we actually did with them, like I don't know that I really want to do it with anyone else other than like if someone's there, cool. But I don't know if I want to ride with anybody there. Kind of want.
I see what you're saying.
I kind of want it for a solo, kind of me doing my own thing, kind of deal.
So we'll let you know where Jace is riding. Y'all can
Yeah. No,
tag along the way.
not like that. It's just like I don't know. Like I want to try to. We were talking about it when we did that podcast. I really want to like indulge in this like photography and like doing some video shit, and I would feel much better about doing that on a trip where I don't feel like if I had decided to stop every 5 miles, it's gonna like fuck everybody else's day up. And not all the homies are cool. They're not gonna be mad, but eventually they're gonna want to get to where they're going. And eventually I'm gonna be like, hey, this place is cool. We should stop again. And I want to be able to have that freedom to do whatever I want and whatnot on that trip. And so that's my solo trip for the year. And then, down south, I'm probably going to link up with all the homies that are leaving here and going to Florida, Bama. I probably won't be coming home with everybody. I think I'm going to do the Keys afterwards. And Big Trouble promised me he would go with me, so I'm going to try to hold him to that. And
I just heard a trip I'm inviting myself on.
but no, Born Free, like I said, we were kind of talking about while you were out there doing your thing, but are you excited about it? I mean, like, are you?
Oh, dude, I'm super stoked about it. I tried to jump on and buy my grass passes the other day, but I don't know if it's I had cookies turned off on my phone or whatever, but it wouldn't work on my phone, and then somebody else said they had an issue with it, so I'll try it on like an actual desktop.
That was Friday. I think people were having issues with. But
so-
I got my grass pass for Saturday, Sunday.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm buying the grass passes for Saturday and Sunday. Not necessarily that I need
I
to.
feel like I'm just gonna show up Friday. Like, I don't.
So
see how, I don't see why it'd be hard.
Again, that's one of those things where
It's not like they're running
I
out
know
of
we
camping.
all have plans and stuff that we'll talk about off camera, but that's my thing is I'm not necessarily running to get down there Friday. I'm actually more than, and I'm probably going to try to stay with spoiler BA. I'm probably going to call you and see if I can stay with you. But man, I don't think I'm trying to camp out there.
It's gonna be good camping weather.
Yeah. And
But
the thing is that we have to set up a booth on that Friday, so we're already there and we're stuck for the most part. So Friday night might be that one special night of camping there, where because if a lot of people show up to camp, then that means that everything's already gridded out. Everybody's got their spot. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to camp at all, you kind of want to be there Friday so you can create your little community in the hive, if you will.
Like I said, there's going to be a fucking group talk to where we determine that. But
Do you mean the group talk where we ask anybody's doing anything and then no one fucking says anything all day long? That one?
I'm in that one, but nobody's brought up Born Free yet. And I knew it would come up, so
I'm still trying to wait and see if somebody other than Canada would loan me a truck.
We've got the big thing on
Canada didn't work
Thursday.
out.
No, he was already there.
We've got the big thing on Thursday night, right? And I just assumed there'd be something Friday night because since Born Free said you couldn't camp Friday night, right? Unless you're doing
Well,
some.
they said that, but we also were talking while we were at since then they've opened it up. But
Yeah.
before that, it was like one of the guys was like, "No, I'm gonna fucking open that gate. We're camping that night." Basically, is what he said. So
Now the deal
he's like, that would be stupid not to, because they are talking about how their own bike night or something like that, and like
Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches.
So they're having
So
a
it's like,
pre-party in
I
Nacogdoches.
can have a pre-party, but not opening camping for the people that are coming from out of town.
Yeah, but they're not opening until 6 p.m.
That's fine.
because they have to set up the actual event with all the
Right.
vendors to get them in there where they need to be before they can open up to campers. So it's like, I get it. It's like a compromise.
6 p.m.'s not that late.
Put it like
either.
this. Born Free, in my opinion, they are taking all the necessary steps to make this a better event for us, as opposed to just being like, here's the gate, go fucking wild. And so the things that we've complained about at this particular venue, I think that the people running Born Free are doing more to make it more structured and organized so that we can enjoy it more while we're there, instead of just having a buck wild free for all. Everybody camps wherever they want. So
I've never had a complaint about Yellow Rose Canyon.
shit. You didn't go to the last event, did you?
No, I ain't go to Fandango, no.
No, not
Well,
Fandango.
Fandango.
It was a Southern Throwdown. It was a shit show.
I didn't go to that either.
Where you been?
I'm working, dude.
Okay. But no, so that's what I'm saying. I think that it's a compromise where they're more structured. It's not as loose, but I mean at the same time, I think that they're making they're making all the necessary precautions and whatnot to structure it better so that everything vendors are where they need to be and they're set up and they're situated. Camping is where it needs to be and it's situated, because if you got grass passes and you got people just riding all over the place and everything's not set in areas,
Right.
it'll be a shit show.
People shit, yeah.
You can't just have campers camping everywhere, and then you got people that can't get in and out to with the grass pass situation. So, I'm very interested to see how they take this place and structure it differently from the other events that we've been to there. And I think that it changes the way that the people that run Yellow Rose Canyon do things there as well. You know what I mean? Because they've been very nonchalant with how they run shit there. So
Well, they've kind of been able to do that, though, because the events were just kind of
yeah.
pretty low-key events, so it's easy to just kind of do whatever you want there. But if you have a bunch of motherfuckers coming in for
Yeah.
a Born Freestyle event, you got to be a little bit more structured. But it won't be hard to do that either, I don't think.
Yeah.
You keep everything from the roads in is all the event stuff, and then the roads out is all camping. It'll still be fine.
I think that the reason why they originally didn't have camping there is because they weren't really aware of how rural this area is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I think that over enough people, I know Danger Dan was a big advocate to get them to open up for camping.
Yeah.
And Danger Dan was also the one that got me in contact with the guys so that we have a rapport now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they've been everything that I've ever thought about those guys, which has never been anything bad, but I just felt like, California guys, they got it figured out. When I had those conversations with them, I was like, fuck, these dudes they're not trying to come in California or Texas. They literally want this to be something that is more more of a showing of, hey, this is this area, right? And they just didn't know anybody. I'll wait.
Go, talk.
I
I
couldn't.
need you to stop talking to do it. Cheers.
He wants
with
to
him.
cheers, too.
I don't want to cheers anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
You
out.
just opened a beer?
No, I don't have any. You got Dos Equis over there?
Yeah.
I'll get one. But no.
I'm a what do you call those guys?
Bartender?
Faggots.
I'm your sponsor. I can't let you have beer.
Okay.
Whiskey is fine, but this is going straight to your hips. So
All right.
there you go.
This Kim Kardashian motherfucker.
So it feels.
Anyway, I think that they have the right attitude going into it, and I was worried about that at first. And
But actually having to talk with them.
having a talk with them and seeing where their head is at with this event, it's reassured me that I 100% want to get behind it now,
Right.
Because I don't feel like they're trying to. My biggest problem was always I didn't want to be a spectator in my own fucking backyard. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't want to be a spectator to a scene that I know that I busted my ass to help shape in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they've made it very clear that that's not what they want. And that's why they're working with us on all these other areas. You know, they want to make it something where we all feel like we're going to our version of Born Free, the Texas version of Born Free. They just don't know. They didn't know everybody. They only knew guys like Danger Dan and Oliver and the guys from, you know, the Southern Throwdown stuff. Like they're getting to know all these people. They know San Diego comes. They didn't know who Fast Life Garage was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as they get to know more people, they can open it up to more locals to their events and whatnot. So
Right.
I'm happy
I think
that-
if we have a good turnout, they'll see it pretty vividly.
Well, to help with that turnout, I'm happy to announce the Quaint Zone tent that's going to be there, where it's going to be the three of us with some mics and some cameras. And guess what? If you don't suck, come through. We'll podcast with you for 5 minutes. It's gonna be like the Kill Tony of podcasts. We're gonna talk to you.
Jason's like,
we're-
what?
We're,
With what
we're gonna talk to you
cameras?
for 5
With
minutes.
what equipment, bitch?
If you suck, we're gonna make fun of you, and you're gonna be gone. If you're awesome, that may turn into 15 more minutes, and you may get your Instagram name shouted out.
Yeah.
But I think there's something there. Anyways, stay tuned for more. Born
I'll
Free,
let-
Born
hey,
Free 2022.
I'll set you up with
Texas.
some microphones, but I don't know about the cameras. That's it's
Right,
too dusty
right.
out there for that shit.
Kill Tony. Kill Tony.
Can't have said kill Tony.
No, we got to show these fucks. That's the part of the flame. Oh yeah. We're whiteboarding here. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Whiteboarding.
Let's whiteboard live.
But I'm excited. I talked to Scott Simpson. They're still on board with you coming out to be their
Pinata holder.
pinata holder.
Yeah.
Their mascot.
I plan to be there. Come out both
Call 'em-
days.
Sammy the Simpson. I'm trying to think of mascot names.
What if you just came in like a full Ronald McDonald outfit or some shit?
Just some
I could probably steal one of those before now.
fucking
before
clown.
then. How about a high school mascot?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
What's a good
Dragon.
Yeah. Hey, dude. It's
Sammy-
Halloween too. There'll be Halloween costumes available.
Anybody in the DFW area? if
Jaden
you-
the Simpson Dragon.
Anybody with connections to South Lake High School? Those are the only dragons I know. Let me know.
What if
We
you
need-
just
we
had
need to
your-
borrow their costume for that weekend?
What if you just go in full body paint, like have
Just that.
just full body paint?
A more suit. Yeah, a more suit with a
You
tail.
could be painted green as a dragon.
It's,
and
it's Halloween season. And you just go to a fucking Spirit Halloween. Find a dragon.
I don't know. I feel it's too.
just put
too,
a sock over your head of your dick so it's covered like nipple like pasties.
I
or
wanted,
something.
I wanted to be like the beginning of the latest Jackass movie, with where he painted up like a little Godzilla. I want to walk it across the board. Dun, dun, dun.
You know what I watched the other night that I hadn't seen in a while that was funny as fuck still? This Is the End.
Yeah, I watched it. I only watched it that one time when it came out.
Dude,
I haven't
it's so
watched it
funny.
since. Yeah.
I watched Wild Hogs the other day. It's not that good, dude. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But yet I still laugh at certain stuff about it. I talk shit the entire time.
Fuck this. Fuck that.
And then Peter Fonda comes out and I get choked up. I'm not even lying. Amanda she goes, "Are you fucking crying?" I go, "Shut up."
You don't know.
I was
I was like, "You never seen Easy Rider? This is the shit." I was like, the fact that it's him, I was like, "This is awesome."
all right.
other than so after Born Free, like I said, we talked about down south. That down south kind of is like the cap of my year motorcycle events. You know, I mean, last year we had Mama Tried at House of Harley, but with Mama Tried being in March now, I don't think it really like fits the vibe for all of us. You know what I mean? In December it works because like, oh, we got one more event before it's the holidays and shit, you know. But
to be honest, as much as I'm a guy that usually looks down the road and tries to keep that calendar rolling, I've not paid attention to anything past essentially down south.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Like after November, I'm just like, Christmas time. I know I've still got trips and stuff and things I got to do then, like non-bike related, that I haven't even paid attention to. In my mind, I've got Florida, March, Daytona is like the next stuff. I'm sure there's stuff in between, but
I think we got to do the polar ride again, but we got to go back to
exactly, that's one.
Shreveport.
That'd be fun. Is it open?
Yeah. Everything's open now.
Oh, dude, let's go then.
It'll be 2023.
We're gonna go back to. I almost called it Boys Town. What was it? Sam's Town.
Sam's
That's when we should do that polar ride. We should just go to Mexico. Fuck going to somewhere cold. Polar ride. Let's go to Mexico. Boys Town. Juarez no, it's not Juarez.
Rio.
What's
Del
it called?
Rio.
Is it Del Rio?
Isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I've heard everybody talk about it.
Yeah, you can see a donkey show down there.
It is.
What if we
Sun
flip?
is back out and it's humid as fuck.
What if we flip the script? What if we flip the script on the polar ride instead of riding somewhere north like a bunch of fucking retards? What if we just rode to Mexico like we did earlier? We just rode to Boys Town. We leave the bikes in the U.S. and we just all take cabs or Ubers or whatever.
And we come back
over
and our
the
shit's
border.
stolen.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything good happening on the border. We're leaving your shit anywhere that isn't by you.
We chain them all up.
Yeah, I don't have.
Chain them all up.
Who's
Come on.
taking
Motherfuckers
the big chain?
have tunnel
We'll get it when we
systems.
get there.
They have like elaborate tunnel systems to mule drugs, but they're gonna see a chain on a group of bikes and be like, "Oh fuck, now what are we gonna do?"
We'll have the whatever prospect we have. We'll have him park the van right behind the bike.
Oh,
so
my
we
God,
can't get him
for
out. Sorry guys, I've been rewatching since they've been RP. we really need a big van like an Astroglide or something.
We need a new guy with
We
an
need a
Astro.
prospect.
It's not
A new
called-
guy with an Econoline.
It's not called an Astroglide. It's an
Econoline?
Astro van.
Yeah, Astro van.
Astroglide, I think, is butt
That's
lube.
lube. Huh?
Jaden's still gonna need it. So bring that too, because
Astro van. Yeah. We need to-
Jaden's our mule for bringing stuff back. So
Anybody else got anything they need to get back across the border? Before I shut this down.
door's about to close.
The Astro van is open for business, baby.
Nah.
That's the name of Jaden's asshole. The Astro van.
Astro. Oh, I love it.
I don't even let fingers in my asshole.
Yet.
Well, the worst case always is like, what if you like it?
It's never a worst case. It's
We
just
talked about this.
No, like what if you start shoving large things up your ass and you end up enjoying it? That's your thing.
Oh well.
If you start jerking off with your left hand, you're
Yeah.
able to jerk off with your left hand now.
No,
Now you're able to fit stuff in your ass.
I'll go.
I guess.
I'll
It's
go.
a gateway drug.
I'll go on record.
Oh, this whole thing.
Listen, this is a political ad paid by the Call Me Dragon campaign. You've never come harder than getting your dick sucked and a chick sticking her finger in your ass. Like I'm just telling you, it is what it
Yeah.
is. Gay or not gay, you're never gonna come harder. It's just was it road trip? Maybe put two, like the whole milking the prostate thing. There's just something about it, whether it's the taboo-ness or whatever, you're never gonna beat it.
Yeah.
So I feel like just keep it to that, but you should only do that like once every 10 years, and then
That's not how things work. It's like
if you
I
do more
enjoyed
than that, then all of a
Let's do
sudden
it
then
again.
you're asking for 2 fingers, then you're asking for the bottle of rosé. Like it just gets out of hand.
See that shampoo bottle over there? Stick it up my ass. You ever
You gotta
listen
leave
to
it, you gotta
the
leave it forbidden territory.
Adam Sandler CD back in the day?
No.
I listen to the Hot
did a-
Water Burn Baby.
Yeah. Hot water but a baby.
That's a funny bit,
Dude,
It's a
yeah,
funny
that-
bit.
it's on that same album, I think. But he's like singing about fucking sticking shampoo bottles up his ass.
Yeah.
You talk about a generational thing. I played that for my dad. And you talk about just like not getting it, like what the fuck, dude? Like, and I'm like 16, maybe 17.
Dude, when it was
Just one of those,
funny
like,
ass
oh, dude, I
fuck.
think it's hilarious. Like this is Dad, I got this fucking. You got.
We're gonna be able to connect on this.
Yeah, and he's just like, what the fuck?
Remember
dude? Is
Toll
this
Booth
guy-
Willie? on that. Hey, toll booth, will you? I heard you're nothing but a dried up, stinky dick licker.
It's all the same dudes from his troop. It's all the same
yeah,
guys
it's like
from
David
the,
Spade and him and all that.
The
dude.
guy that
it's
did Grandma's
fucking
Boy
funny,
and
dude.
Dante, and it's all those dudes.
Dante. Oh, those were good movies back in the day. Oh man,
Nick Swartzen played Majestic on Friday too here in Dallas. I missed that. I saw it like that day. I was like, man, do I want to get tickets for this? That'd probably be pretty funny. But then I feel like fucking with Dallas traffic and all that shit, trying to park.
dude, we found a brunch spot where we like put it in the group chat and nobody said anything. No, we were showing up to brunch there. Good ass fucking food. Nobody there. No line, nothing. Just fucking one server. How can I help you? No, brunch in Dallas is a fucking shit show.
Oh yeah,
Everybody knows that. Everybody know that.
I think that's most places though.
Yeah, but man, like this, I've been in this like finding new spots kind of vibe lately. And like I said, I was telling you guys about that Irish bar that we kind of like stumbled in, not found it like it didn't exist until we, you know what I mean? Like, but just finding new places that are kind of different because we've all got these comfort spots that we go drink at. You know what I'm saying? And I think you had started going to that one spot over there off of what was it?
Milo's,
yeah.
SMU.
So like finding new spots to kind of kick it at, man. Like I don't know. I'm turning 40, man. I need some change.
Yeah, well, there's.
yeah, if you have W Hall,
It's great to have a
Had
good
some times
rotation
to
of
do
bars to go to.
Yeah.
to where you can always switch it up. Lee Harvey's honestly is one that I know we've brought up before.
I've tried to go there so many times, man. It's just
I like
never.
it.
It's never. Every time
spoke
we've
to
ever
you?
gone there, it's like that bar does not. I don't think that bar does well for like a vibe if there's nobody there. If it's just like you're there by yourself, you feel like you're in someone's house just alone. Like it's weird.
kind of like it though. At the same time,
Yeah, but
Because it got an
also-
old '70s feel to it because hasn't changed since.
Yeah.
and it's just got like
So the backstory on this bar is it's literally a house that they converted into a bar, and somehow they got it grandfathered into this neighborhood. So it's next to a house. There's houses across the street. It's a fucking house that's turned into a bar, and
Yeah.
it's kind of wild. They used to. It's got a big chain link fence. They used to do a big dog day on Sundays where you could bring your dog, and it's just like
yeah, they still
Free
do
for all.
bands and stuff there and whatnot.
it's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not opposed to the place. Like I said, I just feel like I always hit it on an off day, and it just like the
So,
vibe isn't. I'm not getting the luster of
times
what
I
this
have been
place
there,
is about.
and it's big. Is like that's one of the places they do after Rockers versus Mods, the whole Cafe Racer Vespa thing that they do in Dallas. They do like a run to like different bars, and I think they end at Lee Harvey's. Lee Harvey's are the Dubliner. They do a few different things, but
Dubliner's one across the street from on Greenville, right?
yeah,
Across the street from
yeah.
Yeah.
They do a bunch of events out of those places for those kind of things, and then they're popping. Then like it's a whole big ass. The patio's full and everything, so they have events like that, but it's not all the time. And like you said, it's grandfathered, so they kind of like it's probably not much to.
They don't give a fuck about.
Oh yeah,
you
they
or
don't. It's
anything
not much
else.
to maintain
They're-
that shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a grandfathered price. They got a you're like fuck it, like
Yeah.
you got to keep those bars the way they are too. I think
Yeah,
Reno's is that
I like
same
them.
way. They're a grandfathered, and that's why they haven't been bought out in Deep Ellum. And I don't know. You got to keep those bars as long as you can.
You know, what's sad
Big
as far as
Sexy
seatbelt?
RD said that prostate massages are great.
They're-
My man's getting his prostate milked.
Speaking of sad and deep Ellum, that old dude that used to live above Enville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's that condo is like gutted. If you
Yeah,
walk by it,
I saw it. Yeah.
the windows are broken out. Like you can see where like the stairs were. You can see where that old couple lived, but they're good. Like some developer's about to just tear the whole fucking thing down.
Yeah.
But it's sad because the backstory on that is we used to go to this bike night and this old dude lived there, him and his wife, and they would come down and he would
Bitch.
he would kind of thumbs up us and he'd tell us like, hey, we didn't do a bunch of dumb shit as far as like revving engines or anything like that, but he would come down every
It's
now
also
and
on a
then.
fucking strip of bars, so
Yeah, and
we're
he
the
would say
last
like, hey,
of
I
those
like
problems.
you guys being here.
especially on a Tuesday.
Whatever, you're welcome. And he never really busted our balls if somebody parked in front of the garage because they were old. They didn't really use the garage to get in and out. But that was like
But it's their garage and their goddamn sidewalk, so
But you talk about a zoning
Stay off of it.
grandfathered in. Like, how did that guy have one residential? It was one fucking condo.
Yeah.
On the edge of a bar in deep. Like it's
Yeah.
that's unheard of. Well, that's gone.
Yeah.
That'll all be something else. Like nobody will
It'll
ever
be
live
apartments.
there
They're like,
again.
oh, let's move apartments and housing into all these swanky bar towns, and then just kill every bar that made it cool to be there.
Yeah.
So now you're just in a fucking swanky hotel, fucking
Yeah, all
strip,
the
like-
history in Deep Ellum, I think, is like slowly fading away. I mean, whether it's the fact that like it's gotten so rough down there where a lot of people don't even want to go, and that's hurt all the the older bars that's been there for years. That I mean, that's obviously what killed places like Anvil Club or Anvil Bar. It's like you got these like trendy where I don't know, it just it's not the vibe anymore. Like Deep Ellum's different, dude.
I'd say that, but I've also seen people that I follow on like Facebook and stuff that are from Deep Ellum and like live there a long time, and they're like basically just saying like, motherfuckers, ain't a goddamn thing changed. It just ain't cool enough for you anymore. Like it's the same. Like it's the same for them on their like.
Well,
most of their small little
sometimes-
hole in the wall bars are there and whatnot. So it's like they don't give a fuck about Stir and all those bars and shit like that. They're not like worried about them. It's just like the spots that they go, and it's like I think it's mostly a note on the danger aspect. Like bitch, it's always been this dangerous. You just ain't been around to fucking see it. So now there's a bunch of motherfuckers there, and some guy shoots a gun out there that everyone knows about it because it's on everyone's goddamn Instagram stories and whatnot. It's like, bitch, it's been happening.
Yeah,
They just didn't give a fuck. We keep moving on. That shit just happens, and all these motherfucking white girls get scared and put it on their Instagram stories. Now it's a fucking, oh my god, it's so dangerous to even fucking be there. It's like, nah, bitch, you're just gay.
Yeah, they sensationalize a lot of the violence and all that stuff down there.
Not that it isn't happening, but it's like,
but it's again,
it's targeted violence.
I was telling you guys earlier. There was one of the big things that I got some messages like, oh, you okay? So this guy, cops pulled a guy over on Good Latimer, which is just technically on the very fucking edge of Deep Ellum. Pulled him over. He pulls over. He stops. He turns around and open fires on police at like 3, just after 3 in the morning. It has nothing to do with the neighborhood. Nothing to do with the area.
yeah.
This fucking dickhead was coming from who knows where, was going who knows where. They just happened to pull him over there, and this is where it happened. Well, because it was close enough that they could tag Deep Ellum in it, everybody, they acted like it was fucking Black Hawk Down, like a Somalian war zone kind of thing, where it's like that's not the case. And even then, 2 dickheads get in a fight and one guy shoots the other guy. How are you going to blame that on the whole neighborhood? It just happened. You know what I mean? It's you're in an entertainment district. You're gonna have the dickheads that do wrong. Every bar can have metal detectors and wand people and dress codes.
And it's funny because it's like the people that are like, oh, I'm not going to Deep Ellum anymore. It's too dangerous. Like, bitch, no one even knew you were there in the first place, nor do they want you there at all. Fucking scram, nerd. Like, that's all that is.
But it's all cyclical. It changes. Greenville used to be that. You know what I mean? 10 years ago, you couldn't go to Greenville Avenue without getting punched in the face and your wallet stolen. Literally, no bullshit.
Yeah.
That was the thing, is you can't go to Greenville without getting mugged. And Deep Ellum was kind of on an uptick. It goes up and down, and it's never, just like anything, it's never as good as it sounds. It's never as bad as it sounds. It's always somewhere in the middle. Don't be a fucking moron. You're in a giant city. It's people.
Yeah, but I wonder how much this plays into like all these, like not just Dallas, but every city that has that street of bars, right? Every city that has like their area where, whether it's like Broadway in Nashville or Beale Street or fucking, I've never even been to fucking the French Quarter. I have no idea what it's like. Yeah. I wonder if you tapped into all these different areas and their party districts, like how much different it would have been. It has been over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Since like all the pandemic, since the riots, since all this shit, like how has all these areas been?
Yeah.
All these Dallas idiots, nobody follows Chicago news. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Chicago, it has the same fucking thing. I guarantee you they have trendy spots.
Like tenfold, though.
Where shit happens, pop off. Oh, yeah, probably worse. But it's all relative. And we're in this little echo chamber when it comes to Deep Ellum that you hear the worst of the worst. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's not awesome. Do I want to walk my kid? If I had a kid, would I want to walk it down there?
By all means, yeah.
No.
At 3 a.m.
But at the same time, is it like this like wild old west where you can't? No, not at all either. It's be smart. If you're a woman or you're a couple chicks, you're by yourselves, I would encourage one of you to have a firearm. Yeah, well, I mean, I would say that on anything like that.
It's not bad, but you want to have a gun on you in a bar district. You want to break the law a little bit. It's completely illegal to have a gun in a 5150.
We're an open carry state. What I'm saying
until you go into a bar,
it's physically illegal to have a gun.
That'd be cool. But
I'm not saying there's a million motherfuckers that don't have guns on them. They just risk it for the biscuit on that point. But to be like, no, it's not that bad. Just go during the day and go in a group and make sure you all have guns on you. It's super safe.
Just make sure the toughest chick that you're hanging out with has a gun, and she's not willing the kind of
make
chick
sure you're faster than her.
The chick that's willing to go.
bring a bunch of fat girls with you.
Hey, motherfucker. Yeah, she may weigh a little bit more than the rest of the girls in your group, but it's you make sure the chick that's willing to go, hey, motherfucker, and she just has to kind of pull it out enough to go, look, we're not fucking with you. Don't fuck with us. Go on.
That's my favorite gun story. Just let me flash my gun at you. Yeah. That's where it gets taken from you, and then you get shot in the head by your own gun. Like,
I feel like that always escalates the situation.
Yeah, every time.
No, you do.
I watched a video of a fat fuck who had a gun on him and got in this fucking.
You saw one fucking video. I know the one you're talking about.
But it's that times fucking 10, dude. Like, you gotta think about that. Like, just because you have a gun doesn't make you some sort of bad motherfucker.
We've been at Reno's before. You and I have been at Reno's before, where your buddy pulled his gun out.
No,
just
he didn't
enough
pull it
where
out.
that dude
He didn't pull it out. He didn't pull it out at all. He put his hand on his hip and went like. And if there is a motherfucker that's gonna do something, it's that motherfucker right there who's been like airborne motherfucker. Like,
the point is the guy stopped his car, was walking up. Your dude did enough to where he said, "I've got it," and the guy stopped and got back in his car and drove the fuck away.
He said, the guy said, "I got a gun too, motherfucker," and my friend said, "Okay," and that was it. And then the guy said, bitched out and got back in his car and drove off. But if there's a guy that's got a gun that can fucking use it, it's that guy right there. That's not everyone, dude. And this fat fuck in the video I was telling you about pulled his gun on a dude who was he was in a fight with.
Oh,
the guy grabbed his gun, pulled his shit. I think he pulled the trigger too, and it just fucking he didn't have it fucking cocked or whatever. But like the dude got the gun from him and then had his way with them, and then just basically they split off from each other. But that's every fucking fat fuck with a gun in Texas who thinks you're some kind of bad motherfucker because they got a gun on them, and it's just like, dude, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, chill. Like the best thing to do is just de-escalate and chill. But like, just sit there.
Maybe having that gun on you gives you a false sense of confidence that you might not actually have.
That's exactly it.
Can I finally see the Tahim, please?
Yeah.
Y'all were into that
in a mode. Yeah.
And,
I'm not saying don't. By all means, I'm not saying everyone should have a right to carry a gun on them for sure and do so. But just know what the fuck you're doing and don't be a dumb fuck about it.
Yeah. How is that law here though? Is it like, can you not conceal at all? You have to open carry to be.
No. It used to be like that, but no, it's open carry. So meaning you can conceal it or open it.
I started think. I mean, it's like fine details, but I started thinking about it. I was like, man, what is? Because if I was ever going to carry one of my guns, I would never want to open carry. That just seems retarded.
Yeah, I was in Rockwall. This kid that was being all Billy Badass had a Glock on his hip in his holster, and we went to a Bank of America, and I got out the car, because the line was full. This dude's just getting money out of an ATM with his gun on his hip. And I'm standing right behind him, and he didn't even like
you can just take.
I could have just taken his gun and all his money at the same time. It's like that's the dumbest shit ever. Yeah. Some little fucking 20-year-old cowboy kid who thinks he's fucking
redneck
Billy the Kid and shit. Yeah, you're just like, you look like a retard, dude. Like, I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me either. But
I don't know.
Do what
People
you want to
are
do.
weird, dude.
I'd so rather that little dildo be able to have a gun than for none of us to be able to have to.
For if anything, not to just remove
he's
dumb motherfuckers from the planet. If you're the dumb motherfucker carrying a gun in front of an ATM, you get taken from this planet. That's you. You know what I mean? Do it.
I just always thought it was weird, like, because as soon as the law was like put into place in Texas, like you just saw everybody open carrying. And don't get me wrong, like I'm all for people having guns.
You didn't see everybody open carrying.
Dude, I saw so much, and I was just kind of like, okay, you too, okay. I felt like it was like it was like when, it's like when people change their
That's
Facebook.
your line. You even said that. I know I'm from Texas and I'm supposed to be like Yosemite Sam, but like that was a funny. I loved it.
Yeah.
When I forget you told like Britta's aunt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I know I'm from Texas, so I'm supposed to be like Yosemite Sam, but whatever, like very common sense, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's because a lot of like, you know, Britta's aunt, you know, Venusite, she, you know, does. I mean, she's been to Texas and Austin many times, but that's not really like going to Texas. So I understand the perception that people have of Texas coming out from the outside looking in, especially the last couple of years when we have our governor, who I 100% support for most things, except for the abortion thing. I don't really get on that board, but you know, for most things, like he's doing wild shit that everywhere else in the country, it's like the extreme of everything, right? And so we get put on this pedestal in the country of like wild motherfuckers. Like us in Florida are like the two states that are like buck wild, right? And so when you're in these states and you want to have like, you know, sit down and have a legit political conversation, which we talked about earlier, like fuck those, they don't fucking work. I hate doing them, but I also don't like.
What's the dude say when he kidnaps home dude's daughter and taken? Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck on having a fucking intelligent political conversation. They don't exist anymore, dude. They don't.
Nah, they really don't.
So my thing is like, I just don't, you know, when it comes to people's perception of Texas, I want them to know that, you know, even looking at like the Born Free logos for Texas, it's all cowboys and shit. Like, dude, I'm from the city, dude. I don't fucking like. Most of Texas that consumes Dyna parts are not fucking cowboys. They're goddamn dudes that wear Vans and go to metal shows and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, I still got a pair of snakeskins, baby.
You can pull it off. I can't pull that shit off. I'm from the city where the black folks lived. I couldn't wear fucking snakeskin boots to
I
save
got
my
Stetson
life.
too. But
Couldn't do it. I had to survive, dude. It's hard out here.
The Cowboys, that kind of that. It's one of those things where it's a stereotype. We're always it's a marketing thing, whatever you want to call it. We're always going to get stuck with it. I guess I don't mind it so much, but yes, you just kind of want to scream at people like that's not.
I'm all
People
about
don't
being
rather
Cowboys
fucking horses
fuck,
to work. Like you think in 2022 you wouldn't have to say it, but it seems like
Yeah.
people still think that there's a little bit. But I say that I work at a bar in Deep Ellum that on the weekends, guess what? Like 9 cops on horses, like come through, click clock down the neighborhood.
They're just flexing, dude.
Yeah,
Hey,
but it's one of those things.
I'm
Like
about it though. I'm about some old,
Like-
like
I love
cliche
it too. I love
Texas
it.
shit, dude.
You can go 30 miles or
Have you seen,
35
like-
miles west, and fucking Fort Worth is a whole other different world.
Yeah.
You go to Mesquite, there's the ghetto Cowboys. They always show
We
up with
we
like
do have rodeos. It's a
They
big
got,
thing, so it's like,
speakers
That
on their
Netflix
horses
show.
and shit.
Oh, shit?
Yeah,
They got big wool
they
bagger
have like
horses?
urban rodeos and shit like that over there. It's wild.
You think
Like
they-
everyone shows up in their lifted trucks.
You think
at
they
one spot.
Bluetooth? How do they get power? Do they have like sound? They have like sun panels on
Dude,
these fucking
probably the
horses?
same way they got the fucking Indian track.
The
You know,
horses,
see those
all,
Indians,
the horses all have beat headphones on.
the guys in India that have the tractors that are all fucking subbed out. You've never seen those
Never.
either? Dude, they fucking customize them like they're old Civics. Like they got like a wall of fucking speakers behind them on a fucking old John Deere tractor. Like, hey, people will find a way to customize some bullshit, you know, just to have a good time with your homies.
People will find a way to ruin some shit.
Hey, I say that, dude. I don't know. Like, at least those horses are getting ridden. Like, if it takes, like, getting dropped off in a Denali Tahoe or something like that to ride that motherfucker, it's still, I don't know, whatever. Do your thing. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, Texas is.
They're, like, doing, like, the same way, like, the guys do burnouts throughout the fucking city. Like, they're just, like, fucking ripping horses down the fucking back
what?
roads of fucking Mesquite.
If you
and
really
shit.
think about it, I feel like if you really boiled it down, and we've all traveled to enough cities together where we've been able to party in certain big cities and not, I feel like it's all the same with different nuances, right? Like New York's got a vibe where the shit just doesn't end. Like there's always another bar and it's still open, right? LA does not have anything like a New York vibe, right?
Right.
But it doesn't also really have a Texas vibe, but it's got its own thing that's kind of different, right? Texas has this thing. Austin's have its thing. Houston, I've never even been to downtown Houston. I have no idea what the vibe is like down there, but
Wild.
it is.
Yeah.
Nashville's got a vibe.
They don't give a fuck about nothing.
I feel like Nashville, you know, not to take away the things that make it unique, but I don't feel like it's much different than Austin or Dallas for that matter. If you go to Uptown or one of, like, you find our bar street that has the Woo Girls, you feel like you're in the same fucking spot.
Tennessee is wild. Like,
It is.
the dudes and chicks. Like the old like Tennessee is wild.
Yeah, ask Cody.
I mean, they're just. I mean, that's a state as far as
He probably did get beat up by chicks.
it gets. Texas gets a lot of like, Texas. Everybody has state pride. Everybody has state pride.
Yeah.
Tennessee is one of those things. People from Tennessee have state fucking pride. They'll fight you over their state. Like, don't come in talking a bunch of shit because they will. That's the vibe I get from anyways. That they love their fucking state, and maybe the fact that it's geographically it's long. They've got some stuff, but it's.
You saying it looks like a big dick, so they have big dick energy?
No, what I'm saying is, I think the more your state has to offer, the more protective of it you are. So the fact that Texas is, we've all talked about it before. It's almost like it's own ecosystem. You've got you got mountains, beaches, you've got plains, you've got everything you could want.
I like that bragging point. Though.
Short of like real bad.
Our state long as fuck, bitch.
But dude, Tennessee, we just said it earlier. They've got stuff from the very western tip to the very eastern side, where it's awesome. And you've got different geography, and they're just a prideful people, man. Like I think that's what's drawn a lot of the California dudes to Tennessee.
I think that people that are drawn to places where they feel like you got to think about what's the main demographic of people moving. It's probably the 25 to maybe 45-year-old range of people in their life that are looking for a place where they have entertainment and fun and opportunity to do things more than just.
Where do they want to set out
fucked.
roots? Where do they want to have a family?
Yeah.
Where do they want to have kids? Where do they want those kids to be raised?
The one thing I would say about Tennessee being there last weekend was like they have like nature there. Like, you know what I mean? Like here in Dallas, we don't really have much nature. Austin has a little bit of nature there, but
nowhere
near what
here.
like Tennessee has around like Nashville. Like if you want to go hiking in Nashville, like there's trails, there's waterfalls, there's mountains and shit. Not mountains, but like, versions of mountains, right? And I think that everybody in California that have been there forever, they've loved the fact that not just like the only option is not just to go to a bar. And that's one thing me and my wife were like, what do we want to do today? If we lived in California, we lived in LA, we could go to the beach and hang out.
Well, it's
Or
like you see like
we could
Sax and Shannon going to the mountains and hiking and shit like that.
in Salt Lake. Yeah.
just around, to have other options besides just going to a spot. Like, there isn't anywhere around here to fucking go and hang. Like,
If I put in the group chat,
bro, I've been to
There is, you lazy fucks.
I've been
You
to a
can go
state park here.
You can go to
It's
what?
hot as fuck, and the trails suck. There's no
Yeah.
goddamn water in it. It's all dried up.
That's
let's go
the price
walk
you pay
around the
for where
bike
you live.
trail at White Rock
Don't
Lake.
make it fun.
But there's still stuff you can do. And again, if you're that nature centric,
And it's
then
not even
move the
that.
fuck to somewhere you want to be that nature centric. But to say Dallas has nothing, it's got it. But guess what? It's got that Texas flavor on it. So yeah, it's gonna be hot, dickhead.
Yeah, there's
most of the
bars
year.
on
It sucks ass,
yeah,
dude.
it's
If I wanted to
gonna-
go walk through some hot shit, I want a fucking beer at the end of that.
But again, if you want to fucking kumbaya nature walk most of your fucking year around, move the fuck somewhere that you do that. If you want to live in Dallas and make money and be somewhere fucking cool where you can ride motorcycles and do all this other shit, then shut the fuck up and go do your shit, sweat, rehydrate, and fucking live your life. You can't have it both ways. I deal with this on a day. I live with somebody that I'm noticing you want everything both ways. You can't have it both ways. Living here comes with the cost. If you don't like that, move the fuck somewhere else.
I would say that just for the fact that I'm trying to buy a house in this motherfucker, and too many motherfuckers are coming in.
Yeah.
Go away until I buy a house, and you can come.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Oklahoma City, I think, needs to be the next blown up city because
Fuck Oklahoma City. You know what? You're right. Oklahoma City is bad as fuck. Everyone move there. Get out of Texas.
they got everything. They don't have everything Dallas has, but they got just about everything Dallas has. And with more people, they could get close to what Dallas has.
well, how about this?
The only thing OKC has is fucking Ryan and Donnie, and that's it.
How about this? If you're not from Dallas or Oklahoma City, if you're from anywhere else and you're thinking about moving down here, just know this: the distance from Austin to Dallas and Dallas to Oklahoma City is the same fucking thing. But the cost of living, the cost of everything, that was it 3.5 hours maybe.
Yeah.
You go south and everything's literally 2,
Double.
3, 4 times as much. I'm not bullshitting you, especially on housing. Versus you go north through again, Oklahoma City gets it in the winter sometimes, but the whole thing of you want to buy a fucking cool house, something that you could live in and be happy with for $200,000 for $225,000.
We don't have that anymore here.
That's
not even
guess
in
what?
fucking
In
realm.
Austin, it's fucking forget about it. Dallas, no, not even close. You got some suburbs that are 60 miles out. Bonham, you can live in Bonham
Oh,
for
dude,
200.
yeah.
You can, but again,
You got to go past Greenville at this point.
You're way the fuck out over an hour from Dallas. And that you can go to Oklahoma City and spend $225,000 and be in a nice fucking neighborhood and get the thing about. Do your research. The city's awesome. It's Dallas 20 years ago. If you want to invest some money, it's all going north.
Yeah.
White people are only going north. Oklahoma City is.
I thought
where
you
it's
were going to
at.
say something about South.
No, I'm just saying white people are going north.
Where are all the black people moving, man?
They keep going north too. Just not as fast as the white people. So yeah.
Is that because of white privilege or what?
White, it's called white flight. Is actually the name of the phenomenon. You can Google that. This isn't my concept.
Yeah.
White flight is a thing. You can.
We're just trying to get you leaning into those buds.
Oh, dude, I love black people. Are you kidding me? I work at Crowdus. I'll be hanging out with black people tonight.
Hell yeah. But no, I don't know. I don't even know why we got on this subject, but it was one of those weird things where, yeah, like I'm at a position too where like a part of me wants to move, but I've been to so many different cities in the country where I don't know if one gives me everything I want.
That's what I like about. I don't know. I have a pride in Texas. I've only been here 13 years, but I feel like a Texan more than I do being from Missouri. I still love Missouri too.
Dude, I love
They
St.
don't
Louis
have.
area.
They
dude.
just don't have
I
a
love
lot.
that.
They don't have enough to offer money wise for me. Like I'm making
Yeah,
good
yeah.
money where I'm at now to the point where I'm like, if I move away, I'm taking a fucking pay cut, and it's probably not going to be worth it where I go.
Well,
But I got so many fucking friends here now, and it's like my job's
take
good and
it
all that
easy.
shit. Oh yeah, well,
Take
I
it
guess-
easy, Ozark trash.
I know, right? But I don't know. It feels weird moving away from
You know,
Texas.
honestly, like one of the places I really do like is Little Rock. I think Little Rock
Yeah.
is a good place to be where you have, like, if you think about it, Little Rock is 350 miles away from St. Louis, Dallas, a little bit closer to Oklahoma City, but also Nashville, right?
Yeah.
And so when I was trying to tell some people when I was in Tennessee about why it's hard to leave Dallas, because we go west a lot, and there's nothing past Dallas going west that's big enough to accommodate the needs of you know, of us, right? We'd have to go all the way to Phoenix, and then that's 1,100-mile commitment
Yeah.
versus like if Abilene was just like this popping ass town that had opportunity and a lot of just culture, art culture, fucking
Something.
bar scene. Like nobody talks about Abilene, period. And maybe they just got it figured out and they got a fucking sweet ass scene and we just don't know about it.
I'm
You know
sure
what I
they
mean?
do. But it's a college town, so it's like any of those vibes.
Yeah, but it's not a
cool
real-
while you're going to college, and then you're like, well, I can get the fuck
It
out of
ain't
here
a
now,
college
so.
town like, you know, it ain't like.
College and oil, right? Like, there's not shit there. But
I mean, you think about like Lubbock, and you know Lubbock has a party town. That's where fucking Texas Tech is from.
right.
And you talk about College Station, that's A&M. That's a fucking college. That's a party
Well,
town.
it's the only thing that's gonna make it cool. I mean, if there was not a college there at all, what the fuck you got in Abilene? I don't know. I haven't been there, but
It was just.
I've been through it, you know.
It
but
was
I
a
haven't-
truck stop that blew up.
dude. That's about it, right? Like,
The mayor lives in a Love's truck stop because it was so
Yeah.
hardcore.
I had a pretty good burger in Abilene.
No,
Yeah, that's about
we used
it.
to back in the day. We used to have to drive to Abilene. That was one of the first like concrete skate parks in Texas. So back in the day, we used to like carpool out there with the homies and leave like 4
rip it
a.m.
up.
just to hit the concrete skate. It was free. I mean, we could have went the night before, but you know,
Kids, you don't think
yeah,
about
we
that
don't
shit.
think about shit. Like, hey, we're planning a trip together.
We
But,
could, yeah.
But no, I mean, like Denver, but then Denver's so far north that like you literally live with seasons versus
Yeah.
Oklahoma City. Yeah, you're going to be dealing with more weather, like he said. But at the same time, like Oklahoma's like kind of us here in Dallas. We get extreme weather. Like Little Rock doesn't get that. They don't get the extreme fucking like tornado shit that we get out here. Which, to be honest with you guys, I've lived here for fucking almost 40 years. and I've never ever been in a tornado, so it's not that common.
Not even close to a tornado.
Not even.
Like
Yeah.
it's
We've been through a few up in Missouri, but not like craziness like out in the fucking Kansas and all that shit.
Yeah.
it's God's punishing y'all for all the incest y'all do up there.
That's probably a little bit of it.
Texas is still a God fearing place.
Nah, the tornado's got nothing on that. That's the meth lab explosions. That's his punishment on that. That's their punishment on themselves. There was always a meth lab explosion in old Jefferson County, Missouri, but which is where Colin and Steve are now.
Yeah. I wonder what they're doing.
Big meth.
How is Steve funding his BRL racing?
Chilling.
Have you noticed any strange smells while you're up there?
Yeah. Well, they are remodeling the place, I believe. They're creating a inventory room.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Wow.
Old Heisenberg ass up there.
I like it.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at it.
I could probably talk to some old high school homies if y'all need any supplies.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're into that shit.
They got Sudafed on stack, dude.
Dude,
I
I remember there was gonna be the biggest fight between two dudes in our little town, and they were gonna meet at the covered bridge, which is it looked like the one from Beetlejuice, where it's an old red covered bridge.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, there's a badass one in Hillsboro, and I remember they were gonna get there to. This guy was like the only kid in high school that had a fucking lowered S10 with fucking hydraulics and shit on it.
Sounds like Kyle.
Oh, he was hard as fuck, dude. He was the baddest. He may as well have been Eminem in our fucking high school, dude. He was like the closest you're gonna get to a rap
He's
culture.
that crazy white kid, huh?
Oh yeah, exactly. And so he's gonna get in a fight with some other fucking white trash meth head. And I remember it was gonna go down one night. Did it ever happen? Nope. But that's about the most excitement you get there as far as
How did this
Other than
transpire?
meth lab
I was
explosion.
waiting for something more than that. So.
I don't know. It talking about meth heads and shit.
So if Steve, all right, let me try to save this. Let me pull this out of the ditch if I can. So if Steve Chamberlain does end up cooking meth, I could probably do.
Kyle and Steve are cooking meth now.
I can probably do a blow light situation where I can mule some of it back on Southwest.
Oh, an old Astro and your old Astro van.
No, this will be on Southwest. I've got a recent connection with Southwest Airlines, and all of a sudden
Does she have an Astro van?
I could probably bring that back.
Jay's
That
on
blue.
the Astro
Oh
van.
no, I'll meet her at the airport, and I'll be loading in the Leather Pros, true Diner Bros style.
I was talking about your asshole.
Oh,
The Astro van.
well, we can put some in that
Call
too
back.
if we have to.
There you go. Way to save it, dickhead.
Hey, I feel like you tell you another one of your stories again.
Jaden, don't you gotta go to work in a minute?
I gotta be at work at 8. No, dude, I got 4 hours.
Dude, you need to sober up.
Hello,
Shit.
you know what I do for a living? I kick people out
Racial
of the bar.
profiling?
No, I racial profile and kick people out of the bars.
Kicks him out of the bar for being too drunk. He's not the drunkest motherfucker there. Is Jaden.
One of the guys the other day told me, they're like, yeah, somebody came in and said, the fucking door guy's a real asshole. I was like, was I working the door? He goes, yeah. And I go, probably so.
Yeah.
They're probably dickheads too. I don't regret anything.
Why should he though?
Work at a fucking bar, and I say that I'm pretty nice, dude. Like I'll give people. Technically, if your ID's expired, you don't have your actual ID, you have a picture of it, all that, you're supposed to. No, you're not coming in the bar, dude. Without even charging people, sometimes you give them the whole. You'll go in, you won't cause trouble, you'll have some drinks. I try not to be a fucking just jam people up. It's never enough. It's never a fuck enough. You're always an asshole to somebody.
Yeah.
It's always something. Fuck off, dude. You always get called. You don't let my kind of people in this bar or whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
fuck.
dude, look, I got like 3 of my coworkers are your kind of people. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Like
what
loud,
do you-
annoying dickheads. Yeah.
Come on, dude. Like,
I don't know.
I love it. It's fun. It's great people watching. I don't know.
Cool, dude.
I'll be there. I'll be there tonight. 8 to 2. Come hang out.
Shit. You gotta be at work tomorrow too.
I
Huh?
won't. Yeah, I'm doing. So right now. I'm doing two. I say part time, but like really, really full part time things where I work all the time. Hence the not doing some of the stuff. But it is what it is. It's I guess if we're gonna end it, we can start doing some shit like that. I'm looking forward to October, where a month where I've already missed just life stuff where I've had to suck it up, take it on the chin, whatever you want to call it. Miss a lot of stuff that I really wanted to make it to. I look at October being some of the end of that and kind of getting my feet back under me as far as being able to travel and being able to do stuff that fucking moves me, the shit that I love. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to October. Like I said, we've got a bunch of events. October's a very busy month, but knowing that after that, it's pretty much down south and everything kind of really slows down after that. And it's only going to get better and better and better. I'm super excited about October. And then said, watch me, baby. I'll be going nuts next spring. As soon as the weather, start with Daytona, I'm going to be like my hair on fire. I'm going to be trying to make everything.
Yeah. I'd like to. See.
When do you get your vacation back?
Actually, since they let us buy 40 hours of PTO now, I have it January.
January? That's
Just
not bad.
that, and then March comes my big chunk of it, my annual. So, I always have to wait for March, but 40 will get me by. So, probably do something with a chick, go out on a fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, we do
somewhere.
got to sit down soon and figure out our plans for next year because if we end up moving some of our big trip to a different part of the year other than June, man, I don't know. Like that opens up a lot for me because I kind of would rather do the Midwest in like fall or early spring or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of a weird one.
I'm
Probably
open,
harder
like I said,
early spring.
As great as it is with the 8 of us, let's do it. It doesn't even have to be here. We can always just do it anywhere. But
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. If nothing else, for the camaraderie of just seeing everybody hanging out. But
Yeah.
we got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm looking forward to it.
2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah, there was something else. I don't know. I can keep going.
We'll start ending this, but this Friday we're going to be live on the podcast, making it a big deal. I'd like to see a lot of people come watch the live this Friday. It'd be dope to have, just a good viewing, good people out there watching it because, we got Millhouse coming into the studio. We got Craig from the Down South Campout, Mr. Tampon Turbo, along with Big Troubles flying into Dallas to do this podcast. And then Jaden, you'll be running the cameras that this Friday for us. And I got to figure out how to keep this shit show in order and keep a conversation going. But I'm hoping it's going to be an epic podcast, talking about everything that all of our worlds have got going on, but also the Down South and its upcoming things. And hopefully we'll inspire our friends that aren't coming to Down South Camp Out to reconsider and come and kick it with the boys. Also, your boy's giving away a Simpson helmet at the Down South Camp Out for the bike show, so come fuck with us.
shit.
Yeah, it's going to be a good
Come
time. Not a painted one, though, so fuck off.
Yeah. One thing before we moved on, I don't think we touched on it, but the Kellen thing really inspired me. Just having a dude that we always talk about, and obviously we've eaten us in this big group that we talk about, having this meeting. We've all eaten off that plate plenty of times as far as putting people up on the road and us being the beneficiary of that. I was super happy. I know you had a big hard part in it. You came and hung out. Justin Hingham High did it, some stuff. But putting people up on the road, like if you're on a trip, don't hesitate to reach out and ask for people to hang out and
Yeah,
I'm super happy. Like basically, we had a guy from North Carolina go all the way to the West Coast and come all the way back, and he had so much good interaction in Texas between, just like I said, hanging out, friendly shit. That's really not a big pain in your ass. Like putting somebody up, going out, having some beers and some wings with him, versus on the way back, somebody putting him up, changing his fluids, fixing a flat tire. But it was kind of like the personification of what we all talk about and preach about. He stayed with Cody last night, looking at the picture of him and Cody in bathing suits and the Crocs or whatever, just outside. Like, we've been there. I've been hanging out outside that camper doing the same thing that I know they did last night, having a Corona, just shooting the shit, talking about the road.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And to see that, like I said, I feel like that's a plate we've personally all eaten off of. and to be able to put back on that a little bit,
Yeah.
help somebody else coming through, dude. Again, maybe that's narcissistic, but it personally it filled me up a little bit. It gave me a little bit of boost of something that I probably needed on the heels of missing so much bike related and just feeling like I've stepped back from this world that I love so much, and it meant everything to me. And I hope he's still he's probably home by now. If not, he'll be home soon. But Kellen, American Asian HD, whatever is, I think that's his Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same thing, and I hope to continue that going. If you're ever even coming close to Dallas, let me know. I would love to ride out with you, do something, and it's just keep it going because I don't plan on stopping from taking off that plate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm talking about going to Hawaii and borrowing a bike from one of Johnny's buddies and being able to, so I can say I've ridden in Hawaii now.
Yeah.
Not just on an Eagle Rider bike. Like I would love to ride if somebody's got like a halfway
Bike you
setup.
can wreck and send in the ground.
Shit the fuck up.
On one
You
of
know
those,
what I mean?
those around a volcano.
Yeah.
Send that bitch.
But I don't know. Just that's it. When people come through, make yourself available, man. Dude, that's what it's all about. That means more to me than a lot of the stuff I even get to do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So,
All right, guys. Quaint Zone 9. Done. We're done. We're out. Peace.
I want to finger fuck your shirt, dude. I think I want to finger fuck Kyle's chest. I wish you were one of those people that had, you go to school with one of those kids that had like the hole in his chest.
What? A hole in
yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
chest?
I wish I could. So where he's got that pussy on it, like under his beard. Yours isn't good enough.